Chronicles of the Stellar Mecha War. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 776, The Beaten Child. Song Ren had been keeping an eye on Lin Fan's situation and soon found that she was looking at him, wading in the water towards that side. Lin Fan was a little embarrassed because he was caught peeking for the first time. "Are you looking at this?" Song Ren lowered his head and stretched his neck in front of Lin Fan. At such a close distance, he could see more clearly. The color of the organism was cold white, and it was not conspicuous on Song Ren's fair skin that had become white due to a long period of time without outdoor sun exposure. The original cut edge had also merged with the surrounding skin, and it was impossible to tell that they were two separate individuals before. If you hadn't seen the process with your own eyes, ordinary people would only think that this slightly abrupt bulge was just a scar that healed poorly. Does it still hurt? Lin Fan couldn't help but think of the scene at that time, and he was still frightened. "It doesn't hurt anymore." Song Ren raised his head to the sun. "It won't hurt after you wake up. Do you want to touch it?" As soon as Lin Fan hesitated, Song Ren grabbed his hand and put it on the organism. The tentacles were a little cold and felt very much like the tentacles of us and others. I was really talking nonsense. This was originally his tentacle. The temperature of the organism is lower than the surrounding skin. Lin Fan pressed it twice. It was not as soft as he imagined, but had a very solid muscle texture. He lingered for a while, and a strong pulse came from his fingertips. "Ah! I caught a big fish!" Li Chunhua shouted not far away. Lin Fan's hand trembled, and he moved away from Song Ren's neck and looked over. Li Han was holding a fish as long as his arm and wanted to show it to everyone. When he saw Song Ren leaning over in front of Lin Fan and saying something, but Lin Fan looked up at him and smiled, he instinctively felt that he was in trouble again. Ji saw that he couldn't hold the fish steadily and was about to slip into the water, so he quickly grabbed it into his arms. "So brotherly, you are not wronged at all." Gao Fei was also convinced, patted Li Chunhua on the shoulder, and walked to the other side. Lin Fan saw Li Chunhua standing alone in the pond without moving, and he didn't know why. What's wrong with him? Song Ren turned his head to look at Han. "Don't worry about him. Let's go catch fish." He turned 3/4 of his face to Lin Fan, smiled and stretched out his palm to her. The sunlight reflected through the river water, leaving ripples on his face, and he was so handsome that it was almost tempting to commit a crime. This damn genetic optimization. Lin Fan cursed in his heart, and at the same time, he stretched out his hand to him in confusion. The warm big palm was stable and powerful. Lin Fan supported himself and jumped into the water without shaking. What power? Lin Fan glanced at the strong muscles and quickly looked away. Ami tofu, she couldn't be tempted by male beauty. As soon as her hand loosened, she raised her legs high and jumped towards Jiyu and Gao Fei. Li Chunhua stood there for a while, and seeing that no one paid attention to him, she thought she had escaped and ran over to join in without a heart. After catching the fish, on the way back, Li Chunhua took Gao Fei to catch cicadas. The two climbed up and down the tree like flying monkeys and scooped up a lot of cicadas with their coats, which made Lin Fan cover his ears. "Why do you have so many cicadas?" After pressing his earlobes with his mouth open for a while, Lin Fan finally felt that he could adapt. "Eat." Li Chunhua answered excitedly. "Braised, fried, very delicious. We caught a lot. You can eat more tonight." "Thank you, I appreciate it." Lin Fan was curious to go over and take a look, but after hearing what he said, he quickly moved away. "This is a good thing with high protein." Li Chunhua smacked her lips regretfully and did not persuade her much. The group returned happily with a full load. As soon as they entered the yard, they found that Li Ma was wiping tears under the eaves. When she saw them, she quickly turned her back to wipe them. "Mom, what's wrong with you?" Li Chunhua loosened her hand, and the cicadas wrapped in clothes scattered all over the ground. "It's okay." Li Ma turned around and answered with a smile, but her eyes were red, and it was obvious that she had been crying for a while. "Who bullied you? Tell me." Li Chunhua frowned, and others gathered around. "It's really okay." Motherly patted Lee Chun-Hua's arm. It's not me, it's Aunt Mio, who is worried about Xiaoyu's affairs and crying over there. I feel bad for her. Xiaoyu is the child in South Island. Lee Chun-Hua found some bad signs from her circle of friends at that time and asked Shimao to communicate with her parents after the situation was not tense to see how to correct the child's thinking. Now it seems that the situation should not be good. Several people went into the house together. Motherly didn't want to be sad again, so she called her daughter-in-law to talk to Lee Chun-Hua. After Xiaoyu's parents learned from Shimao that their daughter was not right, they didn't believe it at first. Xiaoyu has always been well behaved and has good grades. After asking her aunt, she didn't say that the child had any problems and didn't take it seriously at all. Shimao had no choice. He couldn't chase the parents and say that your daughter had problems, right? He could only leave it alone. After that, Lee Chun-Hua finally had time to look back at Xiaoyu's circle of friends and found that the child's condition was getting worse and worse and was on the verge of danger, so she asked Shimao again. After learning that her cousin and his wife didn't believe her at all, she called them directly and told them the situation very seriously. Lee Chun-Hua still had some prestige among Shimao's relatives, so her cousin and his wife had to take it seriously. In addition, Lee Chun-Hua showed the screenshot of the circle of friends, and the two of them exploded directly. What followed was a farce of chickens and dogs. After Lee Chun-Hua found that he was blocked by Xiaoyu and could no longer see the little girl's circle of friends, he knew that the matter was not handled properly. But after all, the child was under the supervision of his parents, and nothing serious would happen, so he didn't pay too much attention to it, but focused on his own tasks. Later, Shimao told him that his cousin and his wife directly let the child drop out of school and brought the child back home, and he didn't care too much. With parents around and caring carefully, the child's problems will slowly adjust. But he didn't expect that Lee's mother would cry because of this. It seems that things are much more complicated than he thought. Now Xiaoyu just won't listen to her parents. No matter what brother minimum and sister minimum say, she will go against them. Shimao hugged the sleeping Huanyu and patted her gently, then sat on the kang and explained to the others. Brother minimum is not a good-tempered person. Seeing that he couldn't be persuaded, he started to fight. He hit the child. Lee Chun-Hua stared in disbelief, looking at the soft Huanyu. How could he do that? It wasn't heavy, was it? Sister Minimum said that he was just trying to scare her at first, but the more he threatened, the more stubborn Xiaoyu became, which pissed Brother Minimum off. One time, he really hit her. He even broke such a thick hanger. Shimao sighed as he spoke. He thought he was doing it for Xiaoyu's own good, but what was the result? The child didn't change and suffered a lot. He had a good relationship with her before, but now he has blocked them both. Shimao felt very uncomfortable every time he thought of this, wondering if he had done something wrong. But if she didn't say anything, the situation Xiaoyu faced would be even more frightening. Is the child okay? Lin Fan frowned when he heard it. Shimao pursed her lips and shook her head. She lay in bed for a few days, and then she stopped talking. Is she hated? Lee Chun-Hua also felt that the matter was a bit serious. I don't know. Anyway, Xiaoyu is now. She ignores people, doesn't talk, and plays games on the bed all day. Sister-in-law feels sorry for her and even brings meals to her bedside, but it's useless. She doesn't talk to sister-in-law. Your sister-in-law definitely didn't stop her father from beating her. Lin Fan insisted. Adolescent children are very emotional and have strong self-esteem. It's not that you just give a slap and then give a sweet date and the matter will be over. Who said it wasn't? Shimao also sighed. Minimum J actually regretted it after beating her, but seeing Xiaoyu like this, he became even angrier. As for sister-in-law, although she feels sorry for her, she also complains in her heart because her efforts are not rewarded. Will he beat her again? Gao Fei frowned and shrank back. Shimao didn't say anything. Song Ren felt that this matter was tricky. The more they are beaten, the more they hate him, and the less he obeys. The less he obeys, the more they hate him, and the more they are beaten. This is really a vicious cycle. Everyone sighed in unison. Who says it's not true? Chapter 777 Helpless Reality. Mother Lee cried today because Shimao's aunt called to complain, saying why the child was so disobedient and didn't know how to understand her parents, blah blah. Mother Lee tried to persuade her at first, but later she heard Xiao's grandmother say that her parents could no longer educate the child and they wanted to send the child to a special school so that special people could help her to change her temper. That's not a good place. You couldn't help it. They don't care about it, treat problems rudely, and throw it to others to deal with if they can't handle it. Is this their attitude towards children? Shimao also knew that those special schools were not good places. They beat and scolded children, used mental control, and even gave them electric shocks. If they were sent in, the child would lose half his life. Although Xiao's thoughts were a little crooked, why did she have to go to this point? Mom also said that we can't send her away. A good child, if she is sent here or there, she will be away from her parents and all feelings will be gone. Shimao wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes. We all told them not to worry and to reason with Xiao. She is a smart child and will definitely listen, but they didn't listen. Shimao choked up as he spoke, and Lee Chun-ho immediately went over to hug his wife. Don't cry, don't cry, let's think of other ways. I thought about it. Of course I didn't think about it. Shimao buried his head in Lee Chun-ho's chest, his voice buzzing. At that time, I called every day to persuade them, but they didn't listen. They also said that the matter didn't fall on them, so of course they could say this and that lightly. Did they say that? Lee Chun-ho frowned and was unhappy. In fact, Xiao's affairs, in the final analysis, have nothing to do with them. The root cause of the child's changes that her parents sent her to live alone in such a far place. Even if she has her aunt to take care of her life, she is compared with her cousin who is close at hand and taken care of by her mother. The psychological difference gradually amplifies during adolescence. They are just relatives and bystanders, afraid that the children will make mistakes, so they warn the parents. Unexpectedly, the children who were originally lively and energetic, but had some bad habits were directly ruined by the parents. And they have not yet realized their responsibilities, do not know how to reflect, and further aggravate the contradictions. What do you want at this time? Is it family affection? The result is still a stick after a stick. Not to mention the children. It is impossible for anyone to turn around and pretend that nothing happened, right? When they find that the results are not as they expected, they can't solve it, or don't want to solve it against their wishes and habits. The once excellent children become troubles and stains. Those crappy schools that no one knows about have become their best choice. Under the sign of doing good for the children, they are actually doing things for their own convenience. But will the children really become as well behaved as they think after entering and coming out? Impossible. These people are crazy. I'll call them and ask them. Lee Chun-ho said as he reached for his phone. Don't hit me. Shimao held his hand. Mom told Xiao's grandmother when she was on the phone that if I call and upset them, Xiao will also be in trouble. Don't hit me. Lee Chun-ho froze. Then just ignore it? Shimao shook his head slowly. How can I? I can't. They are my biological parents. Even if I call the police can't say that they will give the child to us, right? What's more, Xiao's complaints about us are no less than those about her parents. In country H, there is basically no way to intervene in family education unless it involves extreme violence and harm. This matter is quite helpless. Lee Chun-ho took a few breaths, and the surprise soon subsided. He gently touched Shimao's head and held her and Huan-Yu in his arms. It's okay, wife. We tried our best. Think about it on the bright side. At least the things we worried about before didn't happen, right? Shimao grabbed Lee Chun-ho's clothes on the back with his backhand and said nothing. What's wrong? What's wrong? After playing cards, Lee's father came back and saw that the house was shrouded in gloom. He subconsciously fired at Lee Chun-ho, who had her back to him. Is it you, a jerk? Who is? Dad? Lee Chun-ho was speechless. Why do you blame me for everything? I'm your biological child, right? You still say that? Lee's father raised his hand to hit him, and Lee's mother came in with food. What are you doing? What are you doing for no reason? Lee's mother walked over and pushed Lee's father away. Come on, let's not talk about those unhappy things. Let's eat. Lin Fan and the other four got up and ran to the kitchen to help, leaving the Lee family in the room to talk. They lingered in the kitchen for a while and came out with the dishes when they heard the bedroom door open. When they entered the room again, the dull atmosphere had been swept away and Yu had woken up and was sitting between Lee Chun-hua's legs, jumping up and down. During the meal, everyone deliberately avoided the previous topic and talked about everything under the sun. Because they were leaving after tonight, the Lee family was particularly enthusiastic and kept talking to Lee Chun-hua. All the complaints and blames turned into earnest instructions in the end, and the dinner lasted until late at night. That night, Lin Fan was particularly quiet. After taking a shower, he lay straight in his seat, not even playing with his phone, just staring at the ceiling. Hey, that child. Gao Fei was packing clothes downstairs, thinking about it and said, are we really going to let it go? What do you want to do? Gu sat on the kang and looked at his phone, waiting to take a shower. Without even looking at Gao Fei, he whispered back. The decision of the legal guardian does not have any abusive tendencies. His own parents and grandparents are going to be sent away. What can others say or do? Gao Fei was discouraged and continued to pack with his head down. After Song Ren entered the room, Gao Fei took the change of clothes and walked weakly to the bathroom. What's wrong with him? Song Ren asked, rubbing his medium-length hair. Still stuck in the mood before dinner. Gu looked up at Song Ren and replied, there are injustices everywhere in the world. He must learn to face reality. Gu shook his head and looked down at his phone. Song Ren saw Lin Fan staring blankly with her eyes open, knowing that she must be worried about this matter. He walked over and was about to speak when he heard Lin Fan say, don't worry about me, I know everything, I'm just a little depressed, it will be fine after a while. When she heard Song Ren's voice, she felt a shadow falling again and knew that Song Ren was here. Okay, I don't care about you. Song Ren went back and rummaged in his backpack, then walked to the kang. Then do you want to eat something? Lin Fan tilted her head back and raised her chin high and saw a chocolate-filled soft candy on her forehead, the flavor she used to like. Eating candy will make you feel good. Song Ren opened the package, took one and handed it to Lin Fan's mouth, making her unable to refuse, even if she wanted to. Lin Fan climbed up, grabbed the candy from his hand, opened the wrapper, and stuffed it into her mouth. Give me candy late at night. Luckily I won't get fat. She mumbled with candy in her mouth. After Gao Fei came back, Song Ren asked about his grandparents again, guiding the two out of their ideological dilemma. When Gu came back, Lin Fan had already leaned in front of Gao Fei's mobile phone, smiling and video chatting with Grandpa Gao and Grandma Gao. The next day, Lee Chun-hua held Yu tightly. After a few days, Yu finally recognized her father and started to stick to him, but he was leaving again. Lee Chun-hua hugged Yu and cried out in pain, but Shimao couldn't bear it anymore and took the child away. To end this embarrassing scene, Lin Fan felt very guilty and suddenly asked Lee Chun-hua to stay. Lee Chun-hua immediately said seriously, what are you talking about? Didn't we agree to act together? Not abandoning, not giving up, and no one can be left behind. Lin Fan was silent, but if you don't come with us, you can stay at home for another half a month. Lee Chun-hua put an arm around Lin Fan's neck and pulled him out of the door. You have a point, but don't I still have to visit the special affairs office? I've been looking forward to it for several years, and it's finally here. Lin Fan didn't know how true his words were, but he was touched. Another farewell, another hard time. Besides Yu, Lee Chun-hua were also crying. Lin Fan thought she must not cause trouble to others next time. She must be fine in the future. Try to be happy and stay fine. Chapter 778 The Value of Love. Gao Fei's grandparents were still as strong as they were 2 years ago, but they also looked much older, but they were in good spirits. This time, Lin Fan took the others to stay in a hotel and let Gao Fei live alone at home. The grandparents were also very enthusiastic about them, but they wanted to see their grandson the most. Besides, the last time they were together, it was because they wanted to watch Lin Fan nearby. Now there are no more safety concerns, so there is no need to squeeze together. Of course, living together has its advantages, but it is also inconvenient. Everyone has suffered a lot in training on weekdays, and when conditions permit, of course they should try to enjoy it as much as possible. They left Gao Fei behind, and the four of them followed the mobile phone guide to wander around the city, eating, drinking and having fun for 3 days. On the 4th day, the four of them brought the gifts they had bought in the past few days to visit officially. Unexpectedly and expectedly, they saw Gao Fei's uncle and aunt again. Gao Fei looked a little angry. Several people looked at each other, not caring that this was Gao Fei's family affair, and it was not appropriate for outsiders to interfere. He found a place to sit down in the house, as if nothing had happened, ready to support Gao Fei. Grandpa and Grandma's happy faces were still embarrassed. They didn't dislike them at all for being tactless and insisting on intervening in their family disputes. They even enthusiastically handed everyone drinks. "Child, why don't you stay at Grandma's house and stay in a hotel?" Grandma Gao took Lin Fan's hand and asked kindly. "Grandma has prepared bedding for you." "I'm sorry, Grandma." Lin Fan shook Grandma's hand back. "We thought that coming here would disturb your time with Gao Fei, so we didn't come to see you a few days earlier." What polite words. Grandma Gao smiled with narrowed eyes and was interrupted by Aunt Gao halfway through her words. "Mom." Aunt Gao shouted in a strange tone. "We haven't finished talking about serious things yet. Why are you gossiping with others?" Lin Fan remembered that the last time he met them, Aunt Gao was quite polite to Grandma Gao. At least her tone of voice was not like now, mixed with an indescribable resentment and impatience. "What's your business?" Grandpa Gao came out of the room, patted the palm leaf fan, and waved it in front of his youngest son and daughter-in-law. "I've told you so many times, but you didn't listen, and you insisted on making trouble when Xiao Fei came back. You." Grandpa Gao Fei held the old man's hand and helped him sit down on a chair next to the dining table. "Take a rest, I'll talk." "Oh." Aunt Gao spoke again, with a look of disdain on her face and a hint of sarcasm in her words. "You kid, the elders are talking to Grandpa. Why are you butting in?" Gao Fei's face flushed. "Excuse me, who are these two?" Lin Fan suddenly asked. Grandma's hands were shaking all the time. Even though she was holding them in her hands, she couldn't stop. Gao Fei thought she really forgot and introduced them angrily. "My uncle and aunt." "Oh, they are relatives." Lin Fan also made a particularly disdainful expression and said in a tone that sounded particularly contemptuous, "I thought they were the king of heaven." Li Chunhua was excited and instantly got into the state. He was familiar with this scene. Aunt Gao thought Lin Fan would greet her politely, and she had prepared everything, but she was waiting for this sentence, and her nose was swollen. "You are so uneducated, little girl." "Who is the uneducated one talking?" Lin Fan laughed jokingly. "It's you." Aunt Gao felt something was wrong, and stood up, pointing her finger at Lin Fan's nose and rushing forward. "You." How could Gao Fei let her touch Lin Fan? So he slapped her hand down. The force was not small, and the back of Aunt Gao's hand immediately turned red. She didn't expect Gao Fei to hit her, and she was angry and annoyed. She sat on the ground, slapped her thigh, and started to cry. "I have a miserable life. Being beaten by my nephew." "Got." Uncle Gao sat on the sofa and began to blame Xiao Fei. "She is your aunt after all. What can't you say nicely?" "Ah. I won't live anymore." Aunt Gao lay down and began to roll on the ground. Gao Fei reacted quickly and took several steps back to prevent her from rolling on his feet. The scene suddenly became funny and helpless. Lin Fan was also dumbfounded. Wasn't she going to have a verbal fight? She wouldn't do such a thing. She turned around and gave Li Chunhua a look. "Go ahead." "No, sister, a good man doesn't fight with a woman." Li Chunhua shook her head in embarrassment. "Enough." The old man slammed the table, making a loud noise, and Aunt Gao, who was crying, stopped turning around. "Grandpa." Gao Fei hurried to rub the old man's hands. "Don't be angry with them." "I don't want to be angry with them, but look at them." Grandpa Gao pointed at his youngest son sitting on the sofa and his youngest daughter-in-law lying on the ground. "It's fine if you come to make trouble normally, but you still make trouble when you know there are guests. Do you still have any shame?" "Dad, what you said is." Aunt Gao was unhappy and sat up to refute. "Shut up." The old man shouted. How can you interrupt the elders when they are talking? Is this all your education? Aunt Geo was dissatisfied and wanted to refute, but when she saw Lee-Chun-ho rolling up her sleeves beside her, showing her strong biceps, she sat back silently. No matter how many times you come, we always say the same thing. The house belongs to Zio-Fi. His parents left it to him. Don't worry about it. Grandpa Geo said fiercely. The last time they came, the couple was still hiding their feelings and were embarrassed to express their feelings. After such a long time, it is obvious that their desire can no longer be hidden. Dad, you can't say that. Uncle Geo was anxious and sat forward. Zio-Fi has been away from home all the time. Aren't we the two of us taking care of you and mom? Did you take care of them? What did you take care of? Grandpa Geo scolded him. You come to eat every New Year and festival, but you don't know to come to help in advance. The meal is prepared by your mother and I. You don't even clean up the dishes after eating. Who did you take care of? Uncle Geo was a little embarrassed and rubbed his hands without saying anything. But don't we come to see you often? Aunt Geo stood up and said with her head held high, if we didn't come to see you often, others would think you were lonely old people. You. Grandpa Geo covered his chest and couldn't breathe. Grandma Geo quickly took medicine from the side and fed it to Grandpa Geo. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief when they saw that the old man had caught his breath. Bullshit. Grandma Geo was also very angry. The weak old lady, who was trembling all over just now, suddenly started to curse and cursed quite harshly. Do you come to see us every time? Every time you come empty-handed and take things away? When have your father and I ever eaten a piece of fruit from you or drank a sip of milk? The old lady put her hands on her waist and cursed. Why do you come here? Don't you know what's going on? I've told you so many times that I won't give you the house. I won't give it to you. As long as you are not deaf or blind and have a little brain, you can understand what I say. Mom, don't we provide family value by visiting you often? Aunt Geo was still arguing. Provide a fart. Grandma Geo has been holding it in for a long time. When have you not been irritated by us every time you come? Family affection? In your eyes, how can family affection be more important than this house? But I'm making it clear, the house was bought by my eldest son, and it will belong to my eldest grandson in the future. If you continue to make trouble, we will sever our relationship from this moment on. From now on, we don't have a son like you, and don't come here to make money in the name of family affection. Chapter 779 Angry Words. It is easy to say that you should sever ties, but it is impossible to do so without breaking your bones. Grandma Geo said this in anger, and she may not really want to sever ties with her youngest son's family. Even if it is true, the best way to completely isolate the frequent harassment from the other party is for the old couple to move out of the house, so that the youngest son and his wife can't find them, even if they want to. But the reality is that they have lived in the eldest son's house for decades, and there are too many memories, so they are reluctant to leave. In addition, the old couple are both over 80 years old. Although they are in good spirits, it is difficult for them to adapt to the living habits and old neighbors when they suddenly move to a completely new living environment. And according to the nature of Uncle Zeo and Aunt Zeo, if there is no one in the house, they might really be able to unlock the door and move in. It will be even more difficult to drive people out by all kinds of arguments at that time, so it is better for the old couple to occupy the place now. Judging from the performance of the middle-aged couple today, it is obvious that they don't know how many times they have come here. The old couple should be angry, but considering that Geo Fei is away from home for a long time, these two guys can more or less provide some family value and comfort the lonely hearts of the elderly. So even though they make the old couple angry every time they come, they know it in their hearts, and the youngest son and his wife have not done anything to deepen the harm. Then just say it. What else can parents do about their own children? If Geo Fei hadn't come back, such a small thing that can't be mentioned would not be a big deal in the hearts of the old couple. But it can't be done in front of Geo Fei. The eldest grandson has had a rough life since he was a child. How can he feel good after hearing these words? Can the relationship with his uncle's family still be good? Wouldn't this family fall apart after they are 100 years old? Won't Zio Fei be estranged from his only blood relative? So Grandpa Gao was particularly angry and changed the subject many times to ask the youngest son and his wife to be a little more discerning and not to talk nonsense when Gao Fei is around. But Uncle Gao and his wife are waiting for Gao Fei to come back. They hadn't been able to make a breakthrough with the old couple for such a long time, and they were fed up with it. It was a good opportunity for Gao Fei to come back and try to find a breakthrough. Besides, Gao Fei's name was written on the property title, and whether the matter would succeed or not would depend on him to give in the end. The child was simple, and after his brother and his wife left, he became close to his uncle. Anyway, he was away from home all year round, and it would still depend on them to take care of the old couple in the end. The family said that the money was too much, and they didn't want much, so they just took the old house as compensation. It happened that their son Xiaotao was going to high school, and he could go to a good school if his household registration was transferred. After his aunt cried and sang, Gao Fei finally understood what she meant. Since the last Chinese New Year, he had seen that his uncle and aunt had not a simple mind, but he thought that he could always maintain superficial peace. He didn't expect that they had completely lost their face. He admitted that, because of his work, he couldn't take care of his grandparents up close. But this is the nature of this job, and there is no other way. Just like the previous Grow invasion, if they hadn't been outside to resist, let alone seeing the old couple doing well today, there would be countless people on Langsing whose families would be broken up, and whose grandparents would be gone. He didn't regret it, but he did feel guilty. So every month, when he got his salary, he would give the old couple a sum of money to let them eat and drink well and go wherever they wanted to play. Although the emotional relationship still couldn't be made up, at least they didn't have to worry about the economy. Counting the bonus he brought back this time, the old couple had a considerable amount in their passbook. It was more than the cash from selling the house under their feet, and they could buy a large unit in a newly developed building. But obviously, the old couple didn't tell their youngest son's family about this situation. Maybe they showed too much eagerness to make people disgusted, and even their parents couldn't stand it. When Gao Fei talked to them about reason, Aunt Gao talked to him about companionship, dedication, and feelings. When Gao Fei talked to them about feelings, Aunt Gao could pull out a bunch of crooked reasons, which were impossible to explain. The already ugly scene was further escalated to another level because of the visit of Lin Fan and his 4 companions. Normally, even if there are some conflicts in the family, they should avoid outsiders and solve them privately. As the old saying goes, family disgrace should not be made public. The old couple thought that the arrival of the guests would interrupt today's absurdity. In the future, when Gao Fei left, they could not find the real owner, so they could just yell. They were used to it. They never expected that these two would completely lose face. So the point of Grandpa Gao and Grandma Gao's anger was not the greed of the youngest son, but that he exposed the family disgrace to Gao Fei's colleagues and leaders. What would others think of his grandson? Would the leader not value him because of this? Would his colleagues have a worse impression of him? Would his future be affected? All of this eventually turned into anger and accusations thrown at the youngest son and his wife. As for Uncle Gao and Aunt Gao, they were used to being playful and never thought about Gao Fei at all. They just wanted to make a fuss, to let his colleagues see. Maybe Gao Fei would give in when he was under pressure and afraid of trouble. What are they afraid of? It's a free-for-all. In this room, either they don't know each other, or they are family members. How much is face worth? It's not in front of their colleagues and friends. They can cry if they want, or lie down if they want. Think about the house. What can't they let go of? So in the end, the two hated each other for not fighting, and the two pretended to be stupid. Only Gao Fei was ashamed, and didn't dare to look at Song Ren and the others. Although the current atmosphere seems terrible, in the final analysis, except that the old couple was very angry and Gao Fei lost face, no substantial harm was caused. So after Gao Fei left, the old man would most likely forgive his youngest son and his wife. It's not impossible to have some grudges, but children, no matter how big the mistakes they make, are their own children. At least they should be allowed in, when they come to the house, to accompany the old man for dinner under the name of visiting. This severance of relations is really just talk. Everyone present understood this. Only Gao Fei, who was ignorant of the world, took it seriously. Grandma, please sit down first. Seeing the old lady staggering after scolding, Song Ren quickly stood up and supported her from behind and helped her sit down. Lin Fan also quickly poured a cup of warm water into the grandmother's hand for her to drink. The old lady refused to drink it. She grabbed Song Ren's hand and looked up with tears in her eyes and begged, "Leader, I'm sorry to make you laugh, but it's really not my son's fault. In the final analysis, it's because we didn't educate our children well." Grandma. Gao Fei knelt directly at Grandma Zao's feet and fell on her knees. "Don't say anything. It's my fault. I don't know anything." Grandma Zao lowered her head and tears fell. She let go of Song Ren's hand and gently touched her grandson's head. "Hello, you are the best. My grandson is good in everything, but his life is a little hard. If your parents were still alive, we wouldn't be here today." Indeed, if Gao Fei's parents were still there, his uncle would not have the idea of taking advantage of this house, and Gao Fei would not feel guilty for not being able to take care of his grandparents. But all these ifs are just ifs. Fate plays tricks on them, and they can only go with the flow of fate. At this moment, Gao Fei even thought of retiring. Chapter 780. I like seeing his clenched fist on his knees and his serious expression. Grandma Gao easily guessed what he was thinking and hurried to pull his knuckles. "Don't be silly. It's not easy to pass the test to become a pilot. Grandma knows how much you have suffered and how much you like it. Every time I call you, seeing you so happy, your grandfather and I are also happy." Gao Fei loosened his fists as his grandmother exerted force and choked with sobs. "Grandma, I'm sorry to you and Grandpa." "Nonsense." Grandpa Gao's voice came from the side. "My grandson is defending the country. Defending the country means defending the people and protecting us. You are doing this for the greater good. Why are you saying sorry? Take it back." "Yes." Grandma Gao wiped her tears and smiled. "Our generation is in a state of revival to contribute to everyone. Your grandpa and I are not capable enough to make much contribution. My grandson is amazing, and we can't wait to be happy." "That's right. What's the use of you coming back? You still have to go out to work every day, and you can only have more time to eat and sleep with us. If you find a job that works overtime, we may not see you in a day. Besides, you only make a few dollars from a job outside. How can it be compared with you flying a plane? You don't know how much I'm among the old guys in our area, because I have a pilot grandson like you. They envy me so much." As Grandpa Gao spoke, his mood improved. Yes, me too. When I go shopping for groceries, I always hear those old ladies talking about you. You are the glory of our family." Grandma Gao also said, "If you don't like this job, that's fine. We won't force you. The most important thing is that you are happy. But pat your heart and tell Grandma, do you like this job?" Gao Fei felt his heartbeat getting heavier and heavier, as if it was about to jump out of his chest. He took the aviation test because he liked it when he was a child. Later, it was for his dead parents and Zhang Yaohei. When he first touched the plane, entered the cockpit, and soared in the blue sky for the first time, he still remembers the freshness at that time. It was an excitement that matched his soul, as if he had reached the peak of his life. Later, he was selected for the Mecha team, came into contact with Mechas, saw the stars, trained with everyone, and accepted the challenge of human extreme driving. He felt that he was constantly climbing the peak of his life, higher and stronger, until Gro invaded. He faced life and death, and the price of blood and life made him understand that the Mecha he was driving was not a beautiful steel technology product. He felt the responsibility, understood the limitation of his ability, and continued to break through himself. Song Ren's paralysis also worried him. He thought about himself, others, and many other things, and worked even harder to improve his professional skills. For a while, Gu couldn't stand it anymore, and said that he had become a different person, like a training machine without emotions. This state did not change until Song Ren recovered. The stone that had been pressing on his heart seemed to be removed, and he regained some of the feelings of Gao Fei before. He trained diligently and worked conscientiously. He had heard countless praises and affirmations, but this was the first time he heard someone ask him if he liked this job. He couldn't help but touch his chest, feeling the vigorous heartbeat, one by one, as if telling of joy and peace of mind. "I like it." Gao Fei opened his mouth and tears fell. He had a bitter face and cried very ugly and threw himself on Grandma Gao's knees. I like it. I like it. Grandma Gao smiled and gently stroked the back of Gao Fei's head and silently accompanied her grandson in tears. If you like it, keep working hard. Grandpa Gao came over and patted his grandson's shoulder vigorously. Since ancient times, it has been difficult to be both loyal and filial. Your loyalty to the country is equivalent to being filial to us. Your grandma and I understand and support you. Work hard and don't worry about us. Look at our skills. It's no problem to live another 20 years. Hey, man, why are you crying? The atmosphere here was just right. Lin Fan and Li Chunhe also shed tears. Who knew that there were people who didn't learn from their lessons? Dad. The old man frowned and was about to turn around and scold him again when the door rang. At this time, he didn't know who would come. Gao Fei quickly gathered his emotions and stood up and went straight to the bathroom. Li Chunhe sobbed and handed a tissue to Lin Fan. Lin Fan took it in his hand and wiped Grandma Gao's tears first. Song Ren asked Jiu to help Grandpa Gao sit down and went to open the door himself. Everyone ignored the two troublemakers in the hall. The person outside the door was not surprised to see Song Ren and smiled familiarly. Captain Song, long time no see. Song Ren was a little surprised to see Jiang Yaohei, who was smiling outside the door. He was also deeply impressed by the tragic life experience and sophistication of this childhood friend. They had only met once before, but he seemed to be able to take care of everything. In a short period of time, he made Lin Fan, who had psychological barriers at the time, feel good about him. Even Song Ren admired this ability. Long time no see. Are you looking for Gao Fei? Song Ren glanced at the two people behind him wearing t-shirts with big tiger patterns and thick gold chains. One was bald and holding a bag, and the other had a big tattoo on his arm. They both looked like gangsters and didn't look like good people at all. I came here to visit my grandparents and see Gao Fei by the way. Jiang Yaohei moved the things in his hand forward. Who is it? Gao Fei came out of the bathroom after washing his face and saw Song Ren still standing by the door. Express delivery? Brother hey. The bald man wanted to speak. Jiang Yaohei glanced sideways and he stopped talking obediently. Why are you here? Gao Fei walked to the door and was surprised to see Jiang Yaohei. He knew that Jiang Yaohei often came to visit his grandparents, but he had never met him when he was at home. Come on, come in first. He took a step back and wanted to let him in, but when he thought of the situation at home, he paused. Jiang Yaohei seemed not to notice Gao Fei's red eyes. With an extremely friendly smile, he took a step forward and squeezed Gao Fei aside. Sorry to bother you. The two big guys followed him in and did not forget to politely nod to Song Ren and Gao Fei, which was completely inconsistent with their image. Zhao Hei is here. Grandma Jiang's voice came. Song Ren pushed Gao Fei and closed the door, intending to wait and see what would happen. Lin Fan had an impression of Jiang Yaohei, but he forgot his name and couldn't call it for a while. Jiang Yaohei introduced himself again without caring. The way he got along with Grandpa Gao and Grandma Gao was no different from Gao Fei, their own grandson. Jiu found something interesting. Since Jiang Yaohei came in, both people in the hall trembled. Aunt Gao, who wanted to struggle again, immediately pursed her lips like a river clam and slowly backed away. When the two men behind came in, the couple had already squeezed to the top of the sofa and trembled. No exaggeration, it was really visibly shaking, like a quail with its feathers lost. Interesting. Jiu turned his gaze to Jiang Yaohei, who was smiling brightly and getting along well with everyone else. Such a thoughtful person took everyone into consideration when he came into the room, but it seemed that he didn't see the two living people in the living room. Well, there's something interesting to watch. I cried when I wrote the first half, woo woo woo, and I don't know if I can convey it to you. Many people have worked hard for us because they can't take care of their own small family. We must cherish our current life, thank these unknown good people. Chapter 781 Visiting Friends. Who are these two? Grandpa Gao chatted with Jiang Yaohei for a while before he noticed two conspicuous bags standing by the wall. Hello, Grandpa. Hello, Grandma. The bald man holding the bag smiled brightly, walked to the front, and took out a stack of red bills from his bag, and put them on the table in a loud voice. I came to visit you suddenly, and I didn't prepare any gifts. This is just a small token of my appreciation. This. Grandpa Geo had never encountered such a situation before. Wouldn't ordinary people have to pay money when they meet such a gangster? Why did they give money? No, they didn't know these two people. Why did they take out money right away? Grandpa Geo looked at Jiang Yaohei for help. Xiaohei, what's going on? It's okay, my friend likes to greet people like this. Jiang Yaohei replied with a smile. He was a person who didn't know how to do it. He always made people feel very convinced when he walked, sat or lay down, and he didn't even have to do anything deliberately. Just like what he said just now, it was obviously very nonsense. Who would greet strangers with money for no reason, and even like it? Li Chunhua took a look, and saw that the stack was at least 5,000. The big guy doesn't look stupid, or he just has too much money to burn. Grandma Geo quickly stepped forward, took the money from the table, and wanted to return it to the bald guy. No merit, no reward, you put it away quickly. The bald guy didn't dare to touch the old lady, afraid of being touched, and dodged left and right. Grandma Geo looked at Jiang Yaohei. Jiang Yaohei curved his lips and said, take it. The bald guy immediately stuffed the money back into his bag. The money in the old lady's hand was suddenly taken away, and she didn't react yet. After a while, she walked to the table in a daze. Why are you here today? Geo Fei also felt that the two people were strange, but he didn't care much, and turned around to ask Jiang Yaohei. He knew that this childhood friend had some social connections, but he didn't usually bring them to them. It was very strange that he could bring people home today. I'm mainly here to see Grandpa and Grandma, and I heard you're back, so I came to see you. Jiang Yaohei took the teacup handed to him by Grandma Geo, thanked her with a smile, and looked at Lin Fan and the others. Say hello to everyone again. Then Geo Fei turned his head frantically to signal. Oh, they're here to see their friends, too. Jiang Yaohei narrowed his eyes at the two men. You guys go about your business, be quiet, don't scare anyone. Okay. Don't worry, brother Hey. The two big guys seemed to have finally released the seal, and suddenly came alive, striding towards the hall. Grandma Geo looked at her youngest son and daughter-in-law who were squeezed together in the hall, as if she realized something, and wanted to stand up, but Jiang Yaohei gently held her legs. Don't worry, Grandma, it's okay. My friends are all good people. Yes, really? Looking at the tall and strong man from society, Grandma Geo's definition of a good person wavered for the first time in her heart. But looking at Jiang Yaohei's sincere face, she finally suppressed the idea of getting up. Forget it, it's better to teach them a lesson. In the living room, Uncle Geo was huddled at the end of the sofa, shaking like a sieve. Seeing the two strong men approaching, he subconsciously pushed Aunt Geo in front of him. Aunt Geo threw herself forward, slid off the sofa, and knelt directly in front of the newcomers. Looking at the two powerful gangsters, she really cried this time. Brother Kayang. So you really know each other? Grandma Geo murmured, grabbing her collar. Yes, I said they are friends. Jiang Yaohei smiled harmlessly. Bald Kayang showed a very professional smirk, lifted his trouser legs, squatted down in front of Aunt Geo, and looked her up and down. TSK, you've been doing well recently, your face is rosy. Aunt Geo cried, howled, and rolled on the ground just now, and her face had long been red. Although she calmed down for a while, her blood pressure soared after seeing Jiang Yaohei and the gangsters. How could her face not be red? No, I'm not doing well, no. Aunt Geo wanted to retreat, but the sofa blocked her way. Bald Kayang stood up, looked at Uncle Geo who wanted to shrink into a ball with contempt, and slammed the briefcase in his hand against his shoulder. What about you? He didn't use much force, but the bulging handbag still made a crisp sound when it hit the man. Uncle Geo was startled, paused suddenly, and trembled even more. Brother Kayang, give me a little more time, a little more time. Bald Kayang sneered, a little more time. How long is that? If I remember correctly, you said the same thing last time, right? He sighed softly with pretended sadness. It's a pity that tomorrow. How many? He slammed the last few words down with his handbag, word by word, and this time he really used a ruthless hand. Grandma Zao couldn't help but stand up, with a look of panic on her face. What grace period? Grace period for what? Grandma, don't worry, it's okay. Jiang Yaohei helped the man sit down again. What are you doing? Gao Fei was also a little scared. He was not afraid of the gangster, but he had a hunch that something he didn't know would be revealed. Jiang Yaohei smiled and said nothing, just motioned him to continue watching. Brother Kaang. Aunt Gao rushed over and grabbed Bold Kaang's arm. It's really almost there, give us a little more time. She anxiously glanced at the dining room, and a row of people sat in unison looking over here. Gao Fei, who didn't know what was going on, but felt something was wrong. Grandma Gao, who was worried, and Grandpa Gao, who had a grim expression and clenched fists. What are you looking at? Bold Kaang shook her hand away, and poked her shoulder with the tip of his leather bag. You still dare to look at Brother Hey? I don't have the habit of not hitting women. Hearing this, Aunt Gao shrank back again, her back pressed against the sofa, trying to keep a greater distance. Well, why are you so cowardly now? I heard that you were shouting so loudly just now. Bold Kaang continued, come on, shout again for me to hear. I want to see who gave you the courage. After that, he kicked the edge of the wooden sofa seat next to Aunt Gao's head hard, with such force, that the heavy solid wood sofa was directly moved. Aunt Gao screamed and tried to run away from the side, but brother with flowery arms took 2 steps and blocked her way. Why are you running? Although Guan Tao Kaang was talking to Aunt Gao, he grabbed Uncle Gao and said, you want to find Brother Hey again? That won't work. Brother Hey said that he won't interfere this time. You guys should be good. Uncle Gao held Guan Tao Kaang's wrist with both hands. He tried very hard, but couldn't break free. He could only scream out. If this scene was changed to any other place, who would not take out their mobile phone and dial the most familiar number for help? But now it was at Gao's house, and there was a group of tall and strong active duty soldiers / people present, but no one moved, just watching quietly, which was inevitably a bit weird. Zao hey, what's going on? Grandma Gao was still scared. Although she wanted to teach her youngest son a lesson, she couldn't accept this way of teaching. It's okay, Grandma, Lin Fan whispered in her ear. You see, they are just making a lot of noise, but not doing anything. It looks scary, but they didn't really do anything. If that were the case, we would have taken action and we would definitely not let anyone get hurt. After hearing this, Grandma Gao thought about it, and it made sense. Seeing that her eldest grandson Gao Fei was also standing aside without moving, she hardened her heart and stopped talking. Go ahead. Bold Kaang showed a very villainous face. When can the money be paid back? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 782, Paying Debts. Oh, money? Grandpa Gao couldn't hold back any longer at this time. Did they gamble? They didn't gamble, but a few years ago, my uncle learned how to trade in cryptocurrencies and lost money. Jiang Yaohei replied. What is cryptocurrency trading? The old man had never heard of the term. Is it stock trading? It's similar, a bit like stock trading, and it can be considered an investment. Gu explained to those who didn't know in a concise manner. Many people don't know the situation, are deceived into entering the market, greedily want to make a fortune, borrow money to enter the market, and end up losing more than investing in the stock market. Isn't that equivalent to gambling? The old man slapped his thigh in anger. It's unfortunate for the family. It's unfortunate for the family. I wonder why they always want to take this house. I'm afraid they want to get it and sell it to pay off the debt. No, said Grandma Gao, they had this idea 2 years ago. Could it be that they owed money at that time? Yes. The old man also reacted. Your uncle and aunt have a high salary, and they haven't paid it back for so long. How much do they owe? Jiang Yaohei said a number, and the old couple's eyes went dark. Did they borrow Gaoel loan? Gao Fei basically determined the answer by looking at the bald Kyang brothers. Not really. Jiang Yaohei flicked the non-existent dust off his trouser legs. After I knew about this, Akiang waved the high interest. Judging from the results, it can't be considered high interest. That is to say, Uncle Gao borrowed a lot of principal. How dare he? How dare he? The old man couldn't find any other way to vent his anger, except slamming the table. No wonder they want to sell the house. Grandma Gao muttered blankly. They haven't paid it back after 2 years of borrowing. Gao Fei shook his head in disbelief. With their ability, even if their salary is not enough, they can borrow a little bit from everywhere and pay back a small part first, right? Or did they borrow more originally? Grandpa Gao and Grandma Gao looked at Jiang Yaohei eagerly. Jiang Yaohei licked his lips and hesitated. Yaohei, tell us the truth, we can bear it. Grandpa Gao almost cried. How could he give birth to such a son who is arrogant but incompetent? He glanced fiercely at the living room. He was a little worried at first, but now he wanted to go up and beat him to death with a stick. Jiang Yaohei was silent for a while, but finally spoke. When I knew about it 2 years ago, it wasn't that much. I was afraid that you would get angry if you knew about it, so I helped them pay it back. But when Uncle Gao found out that the account was balanced, he not only did not learn from his lesson, but also wanted to make up for it, so he went to Bald Kyang to borrow some money again. Bald Kyang was a businessman after all, and he thought that he had Jiang Yaohei's face, so he just lent it, and it was not high interest. As you can imagine, he naturally lost all his money again. When Bald Kyang went to collect the debt again, Uncle Gao and his wife took it for granted that they went to Jiang Yaohei. Jiang Yaohei knew that they owed a bigger sum again, and knew that these two people were not people who could help, so he asked Bald Kyang to collect the debt according to the procedure, but he was a little more gentle in his means. Bald Kyang saw that Jiang Yaohei was still caring for the couple, so he kept asking for the debt, but he never used any harsh means. It's just that the gangsters acted like this, and ordinary people were afraid of them. In addition, Guang Tao Qiang was not able to get the money, and was not able to do anything ruthless, so he was very unhappy. One time, he caught the couple, and demonstrated to them some normal collection methods. The original intention was to scare them, and make them pay back the money quickly. Unexpectedly, they were scared. When the couple got anxious, they directly set their minds on Gao Fei's house. That's why they came to ask Grandpa Gao and Grandma Gao for the house from time to time. Of course, they knew that it was untenable, but they were short of money. As for Guan Tao Qiang, because Jiang Yaohei had said hello, he turned a blind eye to them. If you see it, knock twice. If you don't see it, forget it. This account is almost equivalent to a bad debt. If you really don't come back, just consider it as a favor to Brother Hay. Originally, he didn't care about this matter much, but who knew that he suddenly received a call from Jiang Yaohei asking him to come over. It turned out that the henchman who was paying special attention to the Gao family heard that there was something unusual in their house and was afraid that the old couple could not cope with it, so he ran to tell Jiang Yaohei. Jiang Yaohei also knew why Uncle Gao and Aunt Gao went to Gao Fei's house again and again, but if the old couple didn't tell him, he could pretend not to know. But now Gao Fei is still making trouble for them. Obviously he doesn't want Gao Fei to have an easy life. Since they don't want to save face, he will help them tear it off, so that they know how to pay back debts. Don't be afraid, Grandpa and Grandma, Jiang Yaohei said, and he didn't forget to comfort the two old people. I have warned them that I won't really be cruel. I just want them to learn a lesson and stop thinking about this place again. Let him do it. The old man was so angry that his eyes turned red, pointing at Uncle Gao who was limp as a puddle, and said hatefully, let him beat them hard, and I will take the blame if he beats them to death. Grandma Gao's eyes were also red, but she turned her head away and didn't say anything. Guang Tao Qiang was already saying that if they didn't pay back the money, he would cut their kidneys and sell their bodies to pay off the debt. The couple was trapped in fear and didn't pay attention to what was said at the table. Grandpa Gao, shouting, gave them a reminder. Dad, please save me. I'm your own son. Uncle Gao cried out with tears streaming down his face. He could not get rid of Bald Kyang's hand at all. Mom, Xiaofei, please save Auntie. Xiaotao cannot live without his parents. Auntie Gao also shouted, after he reminded her, Xiaofei, you are a soldier, you have to protect me, look at them, ah. Brother with flower arms pretended to hit him, and Auntie Gao immediately shrank back with her head in her arms. After Gao Fei knew that the social brother was just pretending, he was completely relieved. Although he was determined to break up with his uncle and aunt, he could not bear to see them being bullied by bad guys. Now that he knew that all this was a play specially directed by Jiang Yaohei, he was even more grateful to this childhood friend. But there were some things he still wanted to ask clearly. When Uncle Gao saw Gao Fei coming over, his heart was full of hope. He widened his eyes and called him, Xiaofei, Xiaofei. Bald Kyang and brother with flower arms saw Gao Fei coming, and they let go of their control over the two of them, and took 2 steps back. Gao Fei walked to the middle of the gangsters, and stopped moving forward. I want to know, are you really planning to sell this house, to pay off your debts? Uncle Gao's sense of shame returned at this time, his face flushed, his head lowered, and he said nothing. Gao Fei looked at Aunt Gao again. No, Aunt Gao wanted to quibble, but the tattooed man glared at her fiercely, and she confessed everything. We plan to get it first, and then ask an agent to sell it to the one with the highest value, not necessarily this one. Gao Fei said, I don't quite understand. If you sell the house you live in now, even if it can't pay off the debt, you can still pay off most of it, right? Add to that your salary, it's almost enough to pay off the debt. Why are you planning to take my house? The couple are in their 40s. Although they have lost all their savings, the house was bought a few years ago and there is no outstanding debt, so it can also be used as a mortgage asset. It is normal for ordinary people to sell off their assets as soon as they encounter an urgent need for money, right? How come the couple didn't even move their house or car, but came to take his house? A house? Aunt Gao said a little embarrassedly, isn't it for Xiao Tao's sake? You should consider your own son. You don't want to sell the house, so you want to take someone else's son's house? Guang Tao Kyang was extremely disgusted with the two people's ideas. Others always say that they are bad social brothers, but they are much more moral than such scum. More than that, brother Huabi couldn't stand it anymore and continued to add fuel to the fire. I think they think it's easier to deal with it with their parents living in the house, and they won't have to worry about it in a few years. HMM. Guang Tao Kyang coughed and interrupted, don't talk nonsense, pay attention to the occasion. Huabi suddenly remembered that Jiang Yaohei had a friendship with the old couple and immediately knew that he had said the wrong thing. He put down his arms and stood aside and dared not say a word. In fact, if Gao Fei took out all the money he had given to the old couple over the years, he could pay it back almost enough. If he added his salary in the second half of the year and his year-end bonus, if he really wanted to pay it back, he could do so without selling the house. But why should he help them pay back the money? He didn't want to pay a penny. Gao Fei smiled sarcastically and asked, so, uncle, aunt, do you really regard us as your relatives? Chapter 783, Evildoers will be punished by their own evildoers. The couple's answer was no longer important. Gao Fei's heart turned cold, and Grandpa Gao and Grandma Gao were also extremely disappointed with them. For a short period of time, they didn't even want to look at them. This time, Jiang Yaohei asked Guang Tao Qiang to make his attitude clear, and he wanted to make Uncle Gao and Aunt Gao suffer and pay back the money quickly. He made such a gesture in front of the old couple to warn them that your parents and nephew knew about it, and it would not work to use them as a favor. Their commotion chilled the hearts of several people. If they wanted to take the house again, Jiang Yaohei would not stand idly by. Who is Jiang Yaohei? He said that he didn't mix in society, but didn't he see that the gangsters all followed his lead? Uncle Gao and Aunt Gao didn't dare to resist at all, and hurriedly promised that they would never come here to ask for a house or money again, and they would list their house with an agent to sell it when they returned, before they were let out. After seeing the people leave, Bald Kyang and brother with flower arms immediately put down their ferocious faces and politely apologized to the old man and the old lady, saying that they were too violent just now, and hoped that they didn't scare the old couple. Grandpa Gao originally looked down on people like them and thought they were all social scum, but at this time he stood up tremblingly and held Bald Kyang's big hand with both hands. Thank you very much. It's my fault for not teaching my son well. I'm ashamed, the old man said, and bent his knees to kneel down, but was stopped by a group of people. No. Bald Kyang was so scared that he sweated. Seeing that Jiang Yaohei didn't look angry, he thought it was okay. Old man, you really made me suffer. It's not easy for you to make a living. The money you waved is a loss. Grandpa Gao sighed, and for the first time felt that the social youth was not as hateful as he imagined. I still have some money here, although it may not be enough to pay your original interest. Grandpa, you don't have to worry about this. Jiang Yaohei stopped him. Don't worry about the interest or the principal. Kyangzi will not go back on his word. If he says it doesn't count, then it doesn't count. Once uncle settles the account, the matter will be over. None of us should interfere, otherwise he will not learn his lesson. Yes, old man, brother He and I are good brothers who have lived together for life. This little money is just for a meal. It's not worth mentioning. Bald Kyang comforted him. It's not that much money to have a meal. Grandpa, don't worry about it. If there is anything else, Xiaohei can tell me directly, and I will solve it. Gao Fei finally spoke. Don't worry, when you are really at your wits' end, I will not stand by and watch you die, but uncle and aunt should indeed be taught a lesson. Yes, old man, the flower-armed brother also continued. We have seen a lot of gamblers like this. If we don't let them learn a lesson, they will soon become stubborn again, and then we will really be unable to save them. Lin Fan and others stood by to comfort Grandma Gao, and did not dare to interrupt. They did not expect that family conflicts would involve such a big drama. From their standpoint, it was inappropriate to say anything, and they could only act as invisible people. After some involvement, the old couple wanted to keep the social brother for dinner, but they were politely declined. After this, who would still have the heart to cook and eat? They all hurriedly said goodbye and left. Jiang Yaohei looked at the people in the room. Some were sad and some were embarrassed, and he used his best skills to quickly turn the atmosphere around and took them to the restaurant for dinner. The exquisite dishes came one after another. Grandpa Gao and Grandma Gao, who were originally immersed in their emotions, finally had no time to care about their sadness. How much does this so many delicious dishes cost? Don't serve them, Xiaohei. This is enough. Don't serve later. Jiang Yaohei still had a smile on his face, but he didn't listen to them. It's okay, Grandpa and Grandma. It's not expensive in our own restaurant. Why doesn't it count money in our own restaurant? Grandma Gao was a little unhappy. It's not easy for you to make money. You still have to save what you should save. How much do you think this table will cost? Grandpa Gao suddenly remembered what he said before, the price of a meal, and asked, are you talking about a table like this? Yes. Jiang Yaohei admitted, it's just this table, you two old people, it's actually just like this, it's no big deal, so you two can rest assured. I have to turn over more than a dozen tables of such banquets in my restaurant every day, it's really nothing. The old couple looked at the plates that had been piled up on the table. Although the dishes were too gorgeous and wasteful, the full table of dishes piled in front of them did indeed embody the concept of money, and indeed did not look as shocking as a pile of thick banknotes. With this gesture, it seemed as if there was really not much money left. Grandpa, Grandma, don't worry about this. Gao Fei picked up some dishes for the old couple. I'm almost 30 years old, and it's time for me to take care of the family affairs. From now on, you just enjoy yourself, and leave all the troubles to me. And me. Jiang Yaohei raised his glass. I'm close. You two just treat me as Xiao Fei, and I treat you as my real grandparents. You two just enjoy yourself, and leave everything else to us. Okay. Grandpa Gao said yes repeatedly, knowing that the two children were filial, and didn't say anything else. Grandma Gao also wiped her tears, and finally hugged Gao Fei and cried. A group of people quickly found various topics to liven up the atmosphere. Li Chunhua even acted like a monkey in the box and screamed, and finally made the two old people laugh. After the meal, Grandma Gao was packing up, while complaining that Jiang Yaohei was wasteful. Jiang Yaohei smiled and helped her pack up, letting him complain. Not much of the full table of dishes was eaten, and several people carried the packing bags back together and filled the Li family's refrigerator. That night, many people did not sleep well. Lin Fan thought of Lin's mother. Wasn't her original investment also a gamble? If Lin's father hadn't backed him up in the end, or in other words, if their family didn't have so much savings at the beginning, what would the final outcome be? Lin Fan thought of several results, all of which were worse than the original. Before his mood continued to decline, he quickly interrupted the hypothesis. So gambling kills people, no matter what form it is. If Jiang Yaohei hadn't been in the middle of Uncle Gao Fei's matter, you don't have to think about what the result would be for their family. Grandpa Gao and Grandma Gao are likely to be implicated. Not only will they lose their retirement capital, but their health may also be affected. As for Gao Fei, never mind, since the matter has been resolved, why think so much? Lin Fan cleared his mind and fell asleep in a short while. The next day was the day when everyone was going to leave. But something like this had just happened in Gao Fei's family, and Grandpa Gao and Grandma Gao needed him. Lin Fan discussed with Song Ren and decided that it was important to let Gao Fei leave the team and stay with his family. Gao Fei thought about it and nodded in agreement. However, he also wanted to see the Special Affairs Office, so he hoped that they would notify him in advance before the visit, and he would fly over to see it and then fly back. Lin Fan thought this was a good idea, so he agreed without thinking much. Jiang Yaohei drove them to the airport. Everything was done neatly along the way, and the three people were sent directly to the boarding gate without moving a hand. Li Chunhua couldn't help but sigh that it was a pity for a talent like Jiang Yaohei. If that thing hadn't happened, he might have had a place in the Mecha team. The sky was blue and the clouds were clear, and the plane took the four people to Gao. In the Special Affairs Office, Wang Fengfeng met Wu Yusen and stopped him. Brother Wu, is your Fanfan coming back today? Yes, and with him are 800 Mecha pilots. Wu Yusen smiled and threw the keys in his hand. I'll pick them up now. Chapter 784, The Unrestrained Special Person. Brother Wu. Li Chunhua came out of the VIP channel and saw Wu Yusen waiting outside. He rushed over like a young swallow returning to the nest. Fortunately, Wu Yusen's waist and horse skills were solid, otherwise he might be embarrassed. He patted Li Chunhua on the back. Did you have a good trip? Li Chunhua immediately chattered non-stop, and the three people behind him also came up. I'm back. Wu Yusen first said to Lin Fan with a smile, let go of Li Chunhua, and then greeted Song Ren and Ji Yu. He had been to 800 several times, and he was not unfamiliar with them, especially Song Ren. As soon as they met, the sense of distance quickly disappeared. Several people were lightly equipped and had no burden. They followed Wu Yusen to the parking lot to pick up the car. His Prado naturally attracted the attention of the three men. Li Chunhua, not to mention, wanted to drool on the hood, and even Song Ren, who was always self-respecting, walked around and touched it twice. Brother, how much did you pay for this car? Li Chunhua couldn't control his excitement. After getting into the car, he touched it here and there, wishing he could grow 8 hands like an octopus man. This is really the dream car that has grown to my heart. Wu Yusen laughed wantonly and said a number. Li Chunhua was silent. After a few seconds of being lost, he began to hold his head and wail, ah, why am I so poor? Everyone laughed, and Lin Fan turned around to comfort him. He did a lot of modifications later to get this price. If he didn't do anything, it should be much cheaper, right? Wu Yusen said another price, but Li Chunhua didn't feel much better and still looked depressed. It's easy to want more money. Come to our special agency. I guarantee that with your conditions, you will have no problem buying a standard version in 3 to 5 years. What do you think? Do you want to consider it? Wu Yusen took the opportunity to poach people. No, 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 no. Li Chunhua immediately stood up. I love my job. I love my team. I love. Wu Yusen saw from the rearview mirror that this idiot kept glancing at Song Ren and was delighted to expose him. You don't have to look at Captain Song. If he is willing to come to our special affairs office, we will welcome him. You are such a high-end talent, but you only give such a small salary of 800. Who are you looking down on? The same goes for Ji Yu. If you want to change to a leisurely job close to home, just let us know, and we will definitely arrange it for you. Thank you. Gu replied unmoved. Brother Wu, you are not being kind. Li Chunhua's face fell. Dr. Jin told us that your salaries are high, but they are earned with your lives. It's a leisurely time, but when you have to work, you really have to worry about your head. Although our salary at 800 is not as high as yours, we are basically not needed, unless it is a time of war. Most of the time we just need to focus on training and improving our own quality. Unlike you, there are unrest every now and then. Today you are on the beach basking in the sun and breeze, and in 2 days you may not be there anymore. Aha. Brother Lee. Song Ren and Gu spoke out at the same time to stop him. Li Chunhua also realized that what he said was inappropriate and hurriedly apologized. I'm sorry. Don't. John Woo didn't care at all and still smiled happily. What you said is the truth. No need to apologize. Not to mention others. Just talk about Lin Fan, who you are most familiar with. He turned his face to the side. She really exchanged her life for so much money. If she hadn't happened to have the ability to transform, she would probably be living in the black box now. The people in the special affairs office might be used to seeing life and death, so they had no taboos when talking about these things, and they looked relaxed, which shocked the 3 people in the back row. Looking at Lin Fan again, not only was he not angry, but he started to discuss his affairs after death with Wu Yusen in a serious manner. I don't really want to be buried in the ground. I want to be buried at sea. It's cold and dark underground, and those urns are too ugly. I can't stand living in an ugly box for the rest of my life. Sea burial. Wu Yusen slid the steering wheel and turned a corner. Sea burial seems to be popular recently. You have to queue up, and the procedures seem to be quite complicated. But in your case, you probably can't be buried at sea. What's the matter? Lin Fan crossed his hands. You still want to make me a specimen? I don't want to. I'm tired all my life, and in the end I don't want to stand on end anymore. I want to lie down. Remember to submit the application for me. If it doesn't work, you can secretly burn me and scatter my ashes. I don't want to live underground. Wu Yusen looked at her helplessly. Miss, it's hard to say whether I will be there by then. Don't forget, your lifespan has deviated from the normal orbit of Langsing and is running towards the Octopus Man. The Octopus Man said that the lifespan of several mechas would definitely increase due to the influence of the octopus gene. The exact amount is still unknown, but according to preliminary calculations, 200 to 300 years should not be a problem. It can be seen from the fact that Lin Fan is almost 40 years old, but still looks like he is only 18 years old, that their gene chain is already very different from that of the Langsing people, not to mention Song Ren, who has a higher content of octopus genes. That's why Lin Fan wants to leave nothing behind after death. She feels that she is not that great. She works hard to risk her life while alive, and she has to contribute her cell skin to research after death. That's why she asked Wu Yusen to apply for it when she talked about this topic. Once the approval is given and implemented in the documents, she doesn't have to worry about being used in various ways after her death. The 3 people in the back seat were simply eye-opening. It is said that people in the Special Affairs Office do not follow the rules, but no, they are unrestrained and free and easy. As expected, there are no taboos and they can say anything at will. They couldn't interrupt, so they could only sit quietly and continue to watch. Then you should try to live longer. Lin Fan looked at him with some disdain. Didn't you start cultivating immortals? Wouldn't it be easy to live a few hundred years? Look at senior brother Ren and old Khan more often. If it doesn't work out, at least send me away before you die. Try to be better. I believe in you. Wu Yusen didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Miss, do you think our cultivation is the same as in novels? 3 days to draw ki into the body, 1 month to practice ki, 1 year to build the foundation, 3 years to form the elixir, and if you come out again, when you encounter an opportunity, you will be an ascent soul? Just read a few dozen or 100 chapters, and it won't be a problem to become a spirit. Oh, Lin Fan smiled. You have read a lot of novels of this kind recently. That's right. Wu Yusen said, but that said, reality is different from fantasy. The reason why cool novels are cool is that they are difficult to achieve in real life. If these things become accessible and everyone thinks they are commonplace, where is the cool feeling? You make sense. Lin Fan agreed. That. Lee Chun-hua finally couldn't hold it in anymore, raised her hand and leaned forward. Did you just say you were cultivating immortals? Who was cultivating immortals? Brother Wu? Song Ren knew about this and was not surprised. Although Ji Yu heard it for the first time, he always habitually observed calmly. Only Lee Chun-hua rested for a long time, scratching his head and wanting to participate, and finally found a way in. It's me. Wu Yusen smiled and told the story of the increase in spiritual energy, which led to the increase in the perception of the Langsing people, the substantial increase in the number of people who can practice supernatural powers, and the establishment of the Supernatural Academy, and the official opening of the school. So, Brother Wu, you have supernatural powers? Lee Chun-hua widened her eyes in envy. Because of the increase in spiritual energy, you suddenly have supernatural powers? It's not sudden, Wu Yusen explained. I'm not a congenital supernatural power carrier, but I have a good sense of spiritual energy, so I can use acquired means to train and absorb these spiritual energy element for my own use, so I do have supernatural powers. Lee Chun-hua screamed. I want to see. What are your supernatural powers like? Lin Fan and the others were also curious. John Woo calmly released his right hand from the steering wheel and placed it on the center console. He raised his index finger upwards, and a flame suddenly appeared. Chapter 785. Advantages of the post-celestial body. The flame was not really big. It was small and round, a bit like the residual flame squeezed out when a lighter was running out of gas. But no matter what, there was a flame on the fingertips of people, and it lasted for a while, without extinguishing, and there was no sign of burning the fingers. Everyone who saw the superpower for the first time was shocked. While Lin Fan clapped his hands. You are actually fire? As we all know, the offensiveness of fire-related superpowers is very strong. Although objectively speaking, each element has its own advantages and disadvantages, and it cannot be said that one is definitely stronger than the other. It's like Mijao can use a water element, which looks the most healing, to pierce the steel plate into a rotten sieve, but that is after all something that only the big guys can do. From the perspective of the same level or entry level, the attack ability and moves of the fire-related superpowers are definitely one of the best among all superpowers. Wu Yusen's acquisition of the fire-related superpowers is equivalent to a significant increase in his attack power. Several of them are Mecha warriors, and they are strong attack attributes. Even Lin Fan is now used to attacking as defense, so it is not surprising that he prefers the supernatural attribute of strong attack more than others. Wu Yusen stopped. I also compared the characteristics of various supernatural powers horizontally, and I felt that the effect of fire supernatural power would be easier to achieve short-term benefits, so I chose it. How can I choose it? You found the highlight. Didn't you say before that I don't have supernatural powers, but I can only sense them? Wu Yusen explained. At first I also felt a little regretful. After all, if you are born with supernatural powers, you can save a lot of time in the early stage. People who carry supernatural powers only need to learn how to control and increase them, while those who don't carry them must first learn how to absorb spiritual energy and gather them inside their bodies without spilling them out. This process sounds simple, but it is a long process. And because of the limitations of each person's induction, learning ability, and physical conditions, the level they can reach is also different. Wu Yusen is already a person with better talent and hard work among the acquired people. Don't underestimate the flame he just showed. In this class of the Supernatural Academy, only he and another genius can make it. Most of the others are still trying to absorb external spiritual energy into their bodies. Zuping is still hesitating on the road of sensing. It is unknown how long and how much effort it will take to reach the spiritual energy reserves that the innate talent has at birth. How many people can't stand this long and difficult road, or give up in despair with no end in sight? But things in this world always have two sides, good and bad. It is true that acquired cultivation takes more time and energy than innate cultivation, but they have an advantage that innate bodies will envy and hate. They can learn multiple powers at the same time without being restricted by the attributes of superpowers. Because innate bodies are born with superpowers, they are automatically insulated from other superpowers. Let's take Mijao as an example. She has water superpowers, and a big boss like her can only use water superpowers now. Even if she can take a little trick and transform into ice, it can bring some hurricane damage, but it is still water in essence. It is impossible for her to have a flame, even at the level of John Woo. Let's look at John Woo again. After absorbing the aura of various attributes, he can learn the fire system, the water system, the gold system, and the earth system. If he wants, he can even become a 5-element warrior. Of course, the time spent is also multiplied. But compared to Mijao, who was born with a congenital body restricted to supernatural attributes, they have more choices and room for matching. When the Special Affairs Office carries out some special tasks, the team members usually need to be matched with several people with different supernatural attributes to take care of them. But with the emergence of practitioners like the acquired body, the same person can practice different supernatural powers. When the ability reaches a certain level, in theory, it can completely replace a team and perform independently. From the perspective of manpower distribution, it is an improvement in productivity. Of course, all this needs time to verify. At present, the Supernatural Academy has just started. Whether anyone can achieve this level, or how long it takes to achieve such a single 5-element warrior, still needs specific practice to see. Moreover, as more and more people can practice cultivation, the improvement of combat effectiveness will lead to an increase in security, and the improvement of life happiness will promote economic development and population growth. The growing population will also have more newborns with supernatural attributes, and then enter a new round of civilization progress. Maybe one day in the future, the whole people's cultivation of immortals will really no longer be a dream. But no matter what, Langsing, which is now full of spiritual energy, has more possibilities and an unlimited future. Wu Yusen is full of confidence in this. Lee Chun-ho was excited. He didn't even care about his or of Song Ren. He directly supported his arms on his legs, bent over and squeezed his head through the middle of the front seat. Brother Wu, look at me, he said excitedly. Look at me, can I also cultivate immortals? When I was a child, the fortune teller said that my bones were very clear. He didn't sell you a book, did he? Lin Fan remembered the popular meme on the internet many years ago and couldn't help but continue. Not really. Lee Chun-ho was pulled back to her seat by Song Ren's collar, and she did not forget to answer Lin Fan. He said a lot of nice things, and I was so happy that I thought I couldn't let him reveal the secret, so I gave him the money my mother gave me to buy soy sauce. Lee's mother was busy cooking and couldn't leave, and she happened to have no change, so she took out a $50 bill and asked Lee Chun-ho to buy soy sauce. In the end, the soy sauce was not bought, and there was no money left. Lee Chun-ho showed off his beauty to Lee's mother without knowing what was going on, and was finally chased around the yard with a broom by Lee's mother. It seemed like something Lee Chun-ho could do. Everyone smiled. But when it comes to superpowers, who cannot be calm? Even Song Ren, who has biological armor, and Ji-yu, who is highly educated, are not immune. Who would dislike that they are stronger? Hey, don't make trouble. Lee Chun-ho saw that the topic had gone off track and quickly asked Wu Yusen, Brother Wu, you are my brother. Take me to the Academy of Supernatural Powers to see for myself. What if I really have that talent? If you really have that talent, you will have to transfer to our Special Affairs Office. Wu Yusen grinned and frightened him. Lee Chun-ho took it seriously and really began to think about this problem seriously. Let's talk about it after we are sure. What if you are assuming the future now, and it is all in vain? Ji-yu couldn't bear it and reminded him. Lee Chun-ho passed Song Ren and gave him a hand. I'm definitely the destined person, just wait. But after that, he didn't think about it anymore. Okay, going to the Academy of Supernatural Powers is not a problem. I go there almost every day. It's not a big deal to take you for a test. But if you really find out something afterwards, you should consider whether to learn it yourself and consult with the unit. Wu Yusen said with a smile. Anyway, it's impossible this term. If you want to learn it, you have to wait until the next term. Okay. Lee Chun-ho rubbed his hands, as if he had already seen the magnificent picture of his golden gang full of lust. By the way, don't you have to go to the Academy of Supernatural Powers today? Lin Fan suddenly asked. Aren't you also a manager? Wang Fengfeng said that you are so busy every day that you can't see anyone. How come you have time to pick us up today? Just ask the logistics department to send a car. There is always time to pick you up, Wu Yusen said with a smile. Besides, today is Sunday, and the academy has 2 days off. And what Wang Fengfeng said is not reliable. He is obviously busier than me, and he has the nerve to say me. What is he busy with recently? Lin Fan asked. It's still a translator. Wu Yusen replied, didn't the aliens come up with a universal translator last time? They also left behind many other alien languages. The entire information department is busy recording all these languages into the latest chip. If we encounter them in the future, we can translate them directly, and there will be no more trouble of language barriers at the beginning. That's really great. Lin Fan clapped his hands happily. He subconsciously glanced at Li Chunhua, who was immersed in his fantasy in the back seat, with the corners of his mouth curled up to his ears. I always feel that his personality may be compatible with Wang Fengfeng. Chapter 786 People Oriented. Because Ji Yu's home was in Gao, Wu Yusen sent him home first. This time it was not a New Year's Day, and the few people had no intention of visiting him upstairs. They just dropped him off at the gate of the community and left. After Li Chunhua knew that she would be staying in the special affairs office tonight, she kept laughing. Can outsiders enter your unit now? Song Ren was curious. The security attributes of the special affairs office are not much worse than their 800. According to previous measures, unrelated personnel cannot enter at all. Like Lin Fan before, they have to be hypnotized when they go in and out, so that they forget the place of the special affairs office. Before, things about superpowers could not be told to outsiders, so the restrictions were relatively strict, Wu Yusen explained. Now, the whole world knows about our special affairs office, and the acceptance is better than the authorities imagined. This time when the Superpower Academy opened, the number of applicants exploded, and some restrictions have been relatively relaxed. But ordinary people still can't easily enter the special affairs office. Don't you have a special relationship? He turned the steering wheel skillfully and entered the next intersection. In fact, the visit of Song Ren and his group was reported and approved by the Special Affairs Office 2 years ago. It was just that Jin Sichin happened to be on a mission at that time, and no one took them, so the matter was delayed. Although the Special Affairs Office is known to the world, it still maintains its mysterious attributes very well. No matter how the outside world guesses, the headquarters is well hidden. So despite the various opinions on the internet, everyone can only be sure that the headquarters of the Special Affairs Office is in Gao, and nothing more is known. While Li Chunhua came up to join in the fun, Brother Wu, you are still very prestigious in your unit. Where is it? Wu Yusen retorted with a smile. You are Lin Fan's relatives. Lin Fan is the head of a department in the Special Affairs Office. In terms of rank, no one can suppress her except our director ZHU. Come on, Lin Fan complained himself. You don't know my department head yet, and I'm the only one in the whole department. The mobile department of the Special Affairs Office was originally set up hastily to win over Lin Fan because they were afraid that 800 people would snatch people. From the beginning to now, it has always been Lin Fan alone. Antonio has been staying in the Special Affairs Office recently. If he joins the Special Affairs Office, he can be put into Lin Fan's department. But he is still based in Country P, and there is no suitable opportunity for the time being. Song Ren is reliable and familiar with Lin Fan. She should not be unhappy to be put in her department, but how could Cui Yan allow it? Therefore, there is still only Lin Fan in the mobile department. If she manages herself well, there will be no trouble in the whole department. Thinking this way, it is a great benefit. That's also a minister, and you still have real power. Li Chunhua retorted disapprovingly. I don't believe there are a few people in the Special Affairs Office who dare to compete with you. Xingqian's fist, which is bigger than a sand bowl, is no joke. There are people who can fight her head, Wu Yusen said with a smile. Lin Fan has no time to hide, and every time he is caught, he can only be beaten obediently. Oh. Li Chunhua was surprised. Who is so powerful? Senior brother Lezingyanking. Wu Yusen said, the one who came to the rescue in the Grove battle and opened the sword formation to save Zhu Gang was him. Sword immortal. Lee Chun-hua put his hands together and kowtowed immediately. He is so powerful, it is natural for him to beat Lin Fan. You didn't say that 5 seconds ago, Lin Fan said coldly. Well, Lee Chun-hua scratched his head. It's not important. The details are not important. So are you often caught and beaten by senior brother? What are you talking about? Lin Fan rolled his eyes at him. That's training, tempering, and tempering. Yes, yes, yes. Lee Chun-hua corrected his mistakes. Seeing that he had a good attitude to admit his mistakes, Lin Fan continued. It's not often. After I became a master, I only met him occasionally, and he would take me over to check if I had regressed. Speaking of which, the last time was several months ago. Why do you seem unhappy? Lee Chun-hua was puzzled. Isn't it a good thing that he urged you not to regress? Lin Fan looked up at the sky in silence. Wu Yusen smiled and continued. Because the senior brother is really ruthless and trained Lin Fan to death. If you have seen him, you will know, but I still pray that you better not meet the deity, otherwise it will be enough for you to remember for the rest of your life. Is this so terrible? Lee Chun-hua shrank back. But what should I do? If you say that, I want to see him even more. Good words can't persuade the damned ghost. If Lee Chun-hua wants to die, let him go. Lin Fan plans to stay away from Lee Chun-hua when he returns, so that he won't really bump into the senior brother and end up being the one to bear the brunt of the disaster. When Gao is not congested, the traffic is still very fast. When Lee Chun-hua saw that the entrance was actually a shopping mall parking lot, he was stunned. When they entered the living area and saw the blue sky and white clouds, they were completely speechless. Wu Yusen drove the two to the small villa by the sea. It was not the one Lin Fan lived in before, but 2 small houses next to each other. Lee Chun-hua got out of the car, stepped on the soft sand, and saw the waves constantly washing towards the shore. Then he realized, this is an underground city. It's even better than 800. It's amazing. He kicked off his shoes, rushed into the waves barefoot, and dipped some seawater into his mouth. Salty. Really? Lin Fan doubted the truth of his words. Even if artificial seawater is restored, can you taste the saltiness in one mouthful? I wanted to try it, but when I saw Lee Chun-hua's feet soaked in seawater, I gave up the idea. If he said yes, then it is. Compared with Lee Chun-hua's exaggeration, Song Ren's surprise was also unconcealed. The technology of the special agency is not lower than that of 800, and even in many aspects of life, it feels much higher. 800 may be a scientific research unit. Although there are many high-tech applications, I don't know if everyone is busy with scientific research and getting results, but they don't put too much energy into interpersonal communication and quality of life. Most of the applications can only be reflected in the underground bunker, or in places related to research products. In most places, such as hospitals, canteens, and even Cui Yan's office, they can't be seen as high-tech places at all. But the special office is different. They apply high technology to daily life. The shadow of technology can be seen everywhere, but every shadow is well integrated into life. Looking at the attitude of the people in the special office, it seems that they have already integrated this high technology into their lives. On the contrary, on the ground, the normal order of life makes them feel inconvenient because of the absence of these technologies, and they are unwilling to stay too long. In comparison, the special office is the one that really puts the 4 words people oriented into practice. All members of the special office can enjoy the benefits of technology without any effort, coupled with unparalleled welfare policies. No wonder the loyalty is still high under the premise of such a high casualty rate. I can only say that the decision makers of the special affairs office are really amazing. Lee Chun-hua screamed as she watched the simulated sun sinking slowly toward the sea level. When she arrived at the cafeteria, she screamed as she saw the dazzling array of dishes. What's so great about this? Lin Fan didn't understand. Don't you have 800 too? Although not as many varieties as we have here. No, Lee Chun-hua pointed with her finger. I saw that red-haired guy. Chapter 787. 3 Social Bulls Talking. Red hair, that is, Antonio, turned around when he heard the noise and ran over with a smile when he saw Lin Fan. Lin Fan is back. Antonio was relatively familiar with Lee Chun-hua and the others. After all, they had been on missions together for several months and had a close relationship. He looked at Song Ren a few more times. You look like you have recovered well. He smiled after looking at Song Ren. Song Ren stretched out his right hand and thanked him for his help in a very ritualistic way. Antonio said that he didn't need to take it to heart and he wanted to find an opportunity to fight with Song Ren again. Don't. Lin Fan stretched out her hand to interrupt. Fighting hurts feelings. We are all good friends. We don't like fighting. In fact, she knew in her heart that when Song Ren was awake, Antonio would be a food delivery man regardless of whether he was in a mecha state or not. It's just that this kind of thing is not easy to say directly. Why hurt someone's self-esteem, right? Antonio wanted to say more, but Wang Fengfeng chased after him from behind. I was wondering why you disappeared when I turned around. You left without even saying hello. Lin Fan is back. Who are these guys? Wang Fengfeng usually doesn't go out of the special affairs office. Although he has seen the information of Song Ren and others, he has never seen them in person. Lin Fan introduced them one by one. When he introduced Song Ren, it was fine. Li Chunhua knew that Wang Fengfeng was a hacker boss, and his eyes were as bright as a puppy. He wanted to pounce on him and talk for 3 days and 3 nights. Lin Fan looked at the two of them and then looked at Antonio next to him, thinking that if these 3 social bullies got together, would the scene explode? Sure enough, when they were eating later, Lin Fan and his friends didn't even need to speak. They could hear these 3 guys chattering non-stop, as if they were performing a group crosstalk. When they really heard it, it was not as noisy as imagined, which might have something to do with the fact that the volume of the guys was not loud. Lin Fan was happy and relaxed. He ate and drank drinks comfortably, listening to them talk about various gossips during this period, which was considered to be a cram school for some current affairs. After dinner, Wang Fengfeng and Antonio said goodbye to Li Chunhua with a feeling of regret for not meeting each other earlier. Li Chunhua was so excited that she held the new contact information she had just obtained inside, that she had found 2 new friends with similar interests. Is Antonio safe? Song Ren walked behind and asked Wu Yusen in a low voice. There is no problem at present. For the time being, it is based on the presumption of guilt. Wu Yusen replied in a low voice. How to say this matter of suspicion? It is difficult to completely rule it out unless it reaches a certain limit. Antonio has not shown any behavior that has harmed H country, and it is impossible to keep him suspicious. After all, the higher-ups still want to dig him over and use him for their own purposes, and they cannot hurt people's hearts in public. So if he wants to stay in the special affairs office, let him stay, and Wang Fengfeng and Wu Yusen can also play a certain supervisory role. As long as he doesn't change his mecha and go crazy, normally, there is no need to worry about what he does. The defenses of the Special Affairs Office and the School of Supernatural Powers are very good. Even if Antonio really goes crazy, don't we still have Lin Fan and Song Ren? What's more, in the current situation, whether from the perspective of interests or emotions, this red-haired devil has no reason to go crazy, so the defense level is naturally relaxed. Song Ren nodded. It's good that there is no problem. He was really afraid that Li Chunhua, that big leaker, would accidentally leak the secret, and things would go wrong. After dinner, Li Chunhua wanted to visit Lin Fan's territory. After taking a look around her office and bedroom, he sighed that the treatment of the Special Affairs Office was really enviable. You come too. Wu Yusen smiled. No, don't tempt me to make a mistake. Li Chunhua shook her head like a rattle. Captain Song, don't you consider coming? Your growth is limited at 800 now. Why not go with Lin Fan? We can also help you find high level superpowers for targeted training. Wu Yusen continued to tempt. Song Ren lowered his eyes and did not refuse directly. Obey the arrangements of the superiors. Oh. Wu Yusen laughed secretly. That was the game between ZHU Kunjin and Cui Yan. It's not easy to think about it. Me. Help me find a high-level superpower for training. I can endure any hardship. Li Chunhua, this conspicuous person, was afraid that he would not be taken to play, so he came up again. I know. I won't forget you. Wu Yusen smiled and patted his arm. Speaking of which, can we visit the caves of those big guys or something? Li Chunhua continued to ask for more. Okay. Wu Yusen still replied with a smile, but Jiu and Gao Fei are not here, so it's better to wait for them to come together. Lee Chun-hua felt a little regretful and hunched over. Lin Fan was used to seeing Lee Chun-hua's high spirits and couldn't bear to see him unhappy, so he hooked his neck and led him out. Although we can't see the caves, we can meet them by chance. Let's go shopping. Maybe we can meet several groups of superpowers. When Lee Chun-hua heard this, his spirits returned immediately. He bent over and followed Lin Fan, and he was happy and didn't feel tired at all. The four of them returned to the living area, and Lin Fan took them straight to the mall. The mall on Sunday was as crowded as the ground. Lee Chun-hua asked if this person was a superpower or not when she saw him, and Lin Fan was confused by her questions. I don't know everyone, she said. Then how do I know who has superpowers and who doesn't? Lee Chun-hua was also innocent. It was a chance encounter, but at least you should know who is who, right? Even if you don't meet him up close, he will be happy to see him from a distance. Just look at who greets Lin Fan. Wu Yusen came to save Lin Fan. Generally speaking, most of the superpowers in the institute know Lin Fan. Lin Fan may not be able to recognize all the staff in the Special Affairs Institute. Only the group of people who had been on a mission together could accurately tell who was who. But it was different for other employees because of Lin Fan's specialness and her position as a department head. Basically anyone who worked normally knew him. It was just that Wu Yusen didn't tell Lee Chun-hua whether these people all had superpowers. But Lee Chun-hua was already very satisfied. He stood beside Lin Fan and kept scanning the surroundings. As long as he saw someone looking in their direction and smiling, he would assume that he was a superpower. As they walked along, although Lin Fan didn't see many familiar faces, Lee Chun-hua already felt that the mall was full of them. Wow. There are so many people with superpowers in your place. Lin Fan felt a little puzzled when he heard Lee Chun-hua's words, but wisely didn't ask any questions and nodded vaguely. Come on, let's go play games. Games? When Lee Chun-hua heard these two words, her exploration of superpowers was thrown to the moon. Here, the 5th floor of the mall was full of amusement facilities. Lin Fan usually didn't stay here because he didn't like the noise, but in order to make Lee Chun-hua forget about looking for someone, he could only cater to her preferences. The whole floor of amusement facilities made Lee Chun-hua feel like she was in heaven. She liked this and that. Wu Yusen exchanged a bucket of coins for him. Lee Chun-hua wanted to go up and kiss him, but he dodged. He didn't even have time to say more and rushed in with the bucket. Lin Fan and his friends naturally followed him in. When they got inside, they found that not all amusement facilities were noisy. The three found Lee Chun-hua and stood behind him to watch him play. Some played very well, while others played so badly that it was laughable. Lee Chun-hua came to his senses and stopped, dragging a few people to play together. With Lin Fan as the last one, he was no longer the worst one. Lin Fan didn't expect that he could still find the simple happiness of his childhood when he was nearly 40 years old. It doesn't matter whether you can play or not, or whether you play well or not, as long as you are with friends, you will feel happy. Seeing Lin Fan happy, Song Ren and Wu Yusen naturally smiled. Chapter 788 Pre-meal preparation activities. The next morning, Ji called. He said that Ji's parents wanted to invite them to dinner in the evening to welcome them, and also wanted to thank everyone for taking care of him on weekdays. They were the same relatives who had dinner during the Chinese New Year last year. Aunts, cousins. Do they want to attend? Song Ren and Lee Chun-hua didn't care, so the pressure was put on Lin Fan. Lin Fan thought about it. It was okay anyway, and they were acquaintances, so he might as well go. The main thing was that she had a good impression of Jiu's relatives, and there weren't so many bad things. It's just a meal. Everywhere is a meal. What's more, they have met once. Go. This face should be given to Jiu. Wu Yusen is going to the Academy of Supernatural Powers today, leaving his domineering car to Lin Fan and others. After Lee Chun-hua knew that the car belonged to Wu Yusen's wife, she didn't dare to touch it anymore. Lin Fan laughed at him and asked why he was so serious. It was just a car. He was successfully choked by Lee Chun-hua's words. This is a man's sentiment. You don't understand. Okay, I don't understand. Lin Fan climbed up to the driver's seat angrily and started the car, but it didn't start for a long time. Let me do it. Song Ren saw Lin Fan looking around for the start switch and felt that it was still a bit risky to let her drive. Lin Fan didn't struggle and gave up the driving seat neatly. How long has it been since you last drove a car? Lee Chun-ho asked while sitting in the back seat. It's been a long time. Lin Fan raised his head and thought for a while. It's been so long that I can't remember it myself. Okay, Lee Chun-ho leaned back. You should just sit in the passenger seat. Lin Fan knew he was in the wrong, but he didn't want to be criticized by Lee Chun-ho, so he immediately retorted. Look at your lack of ability. Look at the configuration of this car. She patted the center console. Even if it's hit, what can it do to you? John Woo's car is bulletproof and shockproof, so it's not easy to do anything under normal circumstances. What you said is true. Lee Chun-ho stretched his head forward again. You two are made of steel. Of course you are not afraid, but I'm made of flesh and blood. Lin Fan swung a slap at him, but he dodged it with a smile and kept saying that he couldn't hit him. Lin Fan was so angry that he wanted to take off his seat belt and climb into the back seat to show him how powerful he was. Okay, Song Ren said. Lee Chun-ho. Okay, it's my fault. Lee Chun-ho raised his hands in a surrender gesture and said to Lin Fan again. It's nothing. It's normal to be unaccustomed to it after not driving for a long time. You will get familiar with it after driving a few more times. Don't you and I know that? The tricycle can fly. Lin Fan thought he was mocking him again, but when he thought of the scene at the beginning, he couldn't help but burst out laughing. See, are you happy? Lee Chun-ho said complacently. Boss, this matter is over. Don't give me extra training later. No, what does it have to do with me if he gives you extra training? Lin Fan didn't want to take the blame. That must be related. You don't understand. Lee Chun-ho glanced at Song Ren and said perfunctorily. Why don't I understand again? Come on, tell me in detail. I want to see if I can understand. The two chattered and argued in the car, and Song Ren drove silently. This time they came out to buy a formal outfit at the mall. They still remembered that when they had dinner with Ji-Yu's family last time, everyone in their family dressed more formally, and they thought they paid more attention to this aspect. It was okay last time because of the urgent time, but today we have time. We can't be so rude again. Although it is not necessary to wear a 3-piece suit at the end of July, it is still much better than t-shirts, jeans, and sneakers. Lin Fan didn't know many shopping malls, so he drove the navigation to the one where they went shopping and bought cosmetics together last time. Lee Chun-ho rented the lobby on the first floor and immediately remembered that memory when she smelled the fragrant smell. The booth in the middle of the square has been replaced by another one with two beautiful cars parked, but Lee Chun-ho still only thought about that luxury cosmetics store. You don't wear makeup. He suddenly realized that Lin Fan hadn't worn makeup recently. When they first bought it, he urged her to do it every day. Since they were separated, he gradually forgot about it. Lin Fan was stunned. I didn't put it on. Won't such expensive cosmetics be wasted? Lee Chun-ho complained, holding her chest. Then, Lin Fan suddenly felt guilty. I didn't throw it away. Aren't they all on the table? It hasn't expired for so long. Lee Chun-ho felt that the money had been thrown into the water. But, Lin Fan hesitated. She didn't know. However, should I go to the store to ask? Don't. Lee Chun-ho grabbed her and ran upstairs. I'm afraid you'll be fooled by someone and spend tens of thousands of dollars and then leave it on the table to collect dust again. Lin Fan touched his nose guiltily. It was really possible. The three of them were all well proportioned and had good figures. It didn't take long for them to buy suitable clothes. The two men chose short-sleeved casual polo shirts and casual trousers with a formal style, which were suitable for a wide range of occasions. It was just that Song Ren chose beige, while Lee Chun-ho chose blue. The moccasins on her feet were also matched in the store, without much effort. Lin Fan had to spend more time. There were too many styles of women's dresses, and she either didn't like the style or the color. After choosing and choosing, she finally chose the classic little black dress. The shoulder straps were 3 fingers wide on both sides, and there were large ruffles below the collarbone. The skirt was spread out and bulged downward with wrinkles and finally gathered above the knees, making the skirt look like a lantern or a flower bud. The lively style made the originally dull black color jump out a lot. Lin Fan wore it on her body and paired it with the short bob she had just trimmed at Tony's last night. She looked like a high school student. At this time, they had been shopping for several hours. It was almost noon, and Lin Fan really didn't want to spend time on the clothes. Seeing that there was nothing particularly unsatisfactory, she just paid the bill. When she was anxious to take people upstairs to eat, Song Ren reminded her that she hadn't bought shoes yet. No. Lin Fan had lost the desire to go shopping. I still have a pair of strappy sandals I bought before in my room. Let's not waste the time. Let's eat. Eating is the most important thing. If you want to say what time makes Lin Fan happiest on a peaceful day, it is undoubtedly eating. The happiness gained is always satisfying. Although you can't taste it, the vision, smell, and feeling of fullness can also make people happy. In addition, she will not gain weight, no matter how much she eats. She doesn't need to worry about her figure at all. She can eat whatever she wants. It's perfect. Lin Fan is not short of money. She directly found the most expensive looking store and rushed in. At a glance, it was another high-end seafood buffet. The king crab claws, as long as an arm, were lined up, and the scale was much larger than the one they had eaten at the train station before. Lee Chun-ho rushed out with a wow, leaving behind the two people who didn't need much food. He was really hungry. Speaking of which, has your taste changed? Lin Fan suddenly remembered and asked Song Ren. I asked Inton. He said that he had a partial loss of taste and couldn't taste the spiciness, but everything else was fine. How about you? Almost everyone thought that Lin Fan's lack of taste was caused by the Mecha. But after Antonio appeared, it was proved that their guest didn't seem to be right, at least not completely right. Me. Song Ren thought for a while. No particularly obvious situation has been found so far. The spiciness Antonio mentioned, isn't that caused by the pain nerves? I think it shouldn't be completely counted. Who knows? Lin Fan shrugged, turned his head back, and concentrated on putting the food on his plate. Actually, it's good for you to be normal. Sometimes I wonder, will one day I suddenly regain my sense of taste? I always feel that as time goes by, the taste in my memories becomes weaker and weaker. Song Ren paused. Even someone as strong as Xingchen has problems that he can't solve. He looked at the girl's back as she lowered her head to search for food, and followed silently, as if she didn't care. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 789 Blind Date Banquet. After dinner, Lee Chun-ho enthusiastically found two popular spots to kill time. Places like Gao are always full of new things, and if you have money, you will have a lot of fun. When the time was almost up, Lee Chun-ho hurriedly urged Lin Fan to go back to put on makeup and change shoes. Fortunately, Gao Road was unobstructed on Mondays, unless it was rush hour. Under Lee Chun-ho's supervision, Lin Fan put on simple makeup and used all the expensive cosmetics she bought. Lee Chun-ho finally let her go. This scene really seemed like before, when Lee Chun-ho also supervised her not to waste. She found black flat sandals with only a few thin straps on the instep, which had that simple Roman style, but it was a bit troublesome to tie the straps around her legs. After cleaning up and looking in the mirror, Lin Fan took out the small diamond earrings and buckled them on her ears. Oh, sure. When did you buy it? Lee Chun-ho had studied this expensive gem when she bought a diamond ring for Shimao. She knew it was worth a lot of money, but she didn't expect that Lin Fan, who didn't like to spend money or dress up, would have such a good thing hidden in his closet. Last spring, when I accompanied the old man to visit P, Lin Fan looked around and found nothing wrong. He went to the cabinet to look for a bag. In order not to embarrass our H country, I went out to buy a lot of luxury things, including this pair of earrings. But the agency didn't let me pay for it, so I reimbursed it. Jealousy will make me unrecognizable one day. Lee Chun-ho gritted her teeth. Don't let Wu Yusen hear it. Lin Fan took out a small crossbody bag with silver tassels, gestured on his body, and put things in it. Otherwise he will ask you to change your job again. Lee Chun-hua now knew that Wu Yusen's luring him to surrender was just talk. His most important identity now is Jin Gang's driver. If he goes to the Special Affairs Agency, what will happen to Jin Gang? It's impossible to bring them all, right? Then Cui Yan won't kill them? That's because he believed it as soon as he heard it. Seeing their leader, he was never in a hurry. After packing up, Song Ren drove them to the restaurant again. This time, the place to eat was changed. It was not in the mall, but a standalone restaurant. It looked like the scale and price were several levels higher than before. My goodness, do you have to be so grand? Lee Chun-hua was amazed at the luxurious storefront. This meal, the gifts we bought are a bit bad. When they were shopping in the afternoon, they had already bought gifts for the visit, but now the sudden increase in specifications made the gifts seem a bit thin. But time didn't allow them to buy anything else. GU was waiting for them downstairs. When he saw Wu Yusen's car enter the parking lot, he walked up. Why don't you get out of the car? He knocked on the car door and asked. Lee Chun-hua stuck his head out and told GU, and GU didn't even blink. Don't worry about that. Their minds are not on the gifts. Huh. Lee Chun-hua is always very perceptive in strange places. Why do I hear something else? Come down quickly. GU helped Lin Fan open the car door. Please forgive me if I'm not treating you well enough. Lee Chun-hua was immediately excited when he heard it. He jumped out of the car and hooked GU's shoulders. Come on, Zio, tell me what kind of hangman banquet is today. GU turned his shoulder and let his hand go. He replied calmly, just eat. Lin Fan was also interested, but he couldn't be as gossipy as Lee Chun-hua, so he had to pretend not to care, but his ears were perked up. Lee Chun-hua asked and asked, but GU ignored him. When they entered the box, they all understood. In the box, in addition to GU's parents, aunts, cousins and other familiar relatives, there were 3 strangers, a middle-aged couple and a young girl in her 20s. Lin Fan's first reaction was other relatives of GU's family, but then he remembered that GU said that his father was an only child, and his mother had sisters and relatives, that is, aunts and uncles, whom they had all met. Then it was inevitable that the appearance of this family of 3 at the family dinner was somewhat intriguing. Lin Fan glanced at Lee Chun-hua and found that he was winking at him, but it was obvious that the tacit understanding between the two was worrying, and Lin Fan didn't understand anything. When the people in the box saw the guests arrived, they all stood up. GU's parents were the first to greet them, and there was inevitably another wave of greetings and thanks. After both parties were seated, this seat also made people think more. Lin Fan and the other 2 were allowed to sit in the main seat. Originally, GU should have sat next to them, but this time he didn't. Next to Song Ren sat Ji's father and mother, and then GU. Next to GU was the unknown girl, followed by her parents. Then came the relatives of the eldest and second aunts, and finally the cousins and cousins, who met with Lee Chun-hua. The girl had fair skin and delicate makeup. She looked like a good girl from a scholarly family. She sat obediently with her hands on her knees, looking a little nervous, and occasionally stole a glance at GU. This is interesting. Just as Lin Fan thought of this, Lee Chun-hua poked him in the waist. Turning his head and seeing that wretched look, it's better not to look at it. Think about it. GU should be 28 this year. It's normal for his family to want to find a partner for him. But I don't know why he was put in front of them. Looking at GU's expressionless face, it's likely that he didn't agree to ask GU out alone, so they used the excuse of thanking them, and GU couldn't not come. In the end, such a multifunctional banquet was created. Welcoming, thanking, and blind date banquet. Lin Fan has never seen people on a blind date before, and he is a little curious about the process of a blind date. Ji's father and mother first said a lot of polite words to Song Ren and the other 2. Isn't it said that people with high education are tactful in their speech? While eating, Lin Fan heard them subtly change the topic from thanking the leaders and colleagues for their care to GU's various excellent abilities. Everyone could tell that they were praising GU, but because they didn't exaggerate the facts, or because the way they spoke was clever, it didn't make people feel disgusted, but everyone listened with relish. Then, as they talked, they started talking about Ji's father's colleagues, that is, the family of 3 next door, how rich their family background was, how upright their character was, how sensible their daughter was, blah blah blah. Lin Fan listened very attentively. In addition to sighing that the art of speaking could be so smooth and fluent, she felt that Ji-Yu and the girl were truly a match made in heaven, and it would be unjust if they were not together. Just as she was thinking this, she saw the girl turn her head and glance at Song Ren shyly. HMM. Before Lin Fan could react, the girl looked up at Lee Chun-ho again. HMM. HMM. She froze while biting the beef tripe in her mouth, wondering if she was dazzled just now. Lee Chun-ho reacted much faster than her. She immediately put her left hand in a conspicuous position on the table and turned her wrist so that the ring on her ring finger would reflect dazzlingly under the light. Sure enough, after the girl saw it, she stopped looking at Lee Chun-ho and her eyes lingered between Ji-Yu and Song Ren. The adults were talking animatedly and didn't notice that one of the protagonists of their conversation seemed to have moved on. Lin Fan was a little incredulous and whispered in Lee Chun-ho's ear, "If I remember correctly, this is Ji-Yu's blind date, right?" Lee Chun-ho covered her mouth with her hand and answered furtively, "Yes, but it seems she doesn't want to cast a wide net, does she? Hey." The food in Lin Fan's chopsticks fell into the bowl. Song Ren and Ji-Yu can also be picked by others at will! Exclamation mark. So bold. Chapter 790. The girl waiting halfway. In fact, it is not the girl's fault that she is distracted. It is true that Lin Fan does not know how to appreciate his good fortune. The 4 people of the 623 Mecha Team 1 have been given the title of F4 men's team in an organization like 800 that is full of focus and scientific research and has almost nothing else to focus on. Their appearance is obvious. Song Ren is needless to say. He has heightened appearance. Moreover, his facial contour is 3-dimensional. I don't know if it is because of his mixed race genes and his ancestors. Even if he is pulled among the handsome men in Europe and America, he is still very good at fighting. He is the kind of handsome man with thick faces that you can't find any flaws in. Even Lee Chun-ho, who is at the bottom of the appearance, is also in the middle and upper position in terms of appearance. It's just that his rude and silly personality, behavior, and expression have always been dragging him down. No matter how good a handsome guy is, he can't stand his tossing. Not to mention Ji-Yu and Gao Fei. These two were originally specially selected by Cui Yan for reasons that he didn't say. One is a gentle and knowledgeable genius, and the other is an innocent campus youth. The main point is to fill in the gaps, and almost all the handsome guys are filled in. In addition, Wu Yusen, who has a filter in Lin Fan's eyes, has an average appearance, but a good affinity. It's a pity that Lin Fan was sick when he came into contact with them. His aesthetics and desires were at their lowest point. He didn't care about appearance, which should have attracted attention at the first time. Later, although the illness gradually recovered, he got familiar with everyone, and with his age and experience, he didn't care about these appearances. Not to mention that the people in 623 have excellent images. Even Lin Fan himself has become much more beautiful due to genetic changes. Lin Fan is around these people every day, and his aesthetics have been raised to a very high level. Antonio is actually very handsome. A red-haired Latin handsome guy, wheat-colored skin, good figure, and good personality. He is very popular with girls wherever he goes. But in Lin Fan's place, he only got a comment of handsome guy, and that's it. His attraction is not as strong as the skewers in his hand. But Lin Fan is calm, but it doesn't mean that other young girls can be calm. Song Ren's appearance is of course the most impactful. Whenever he is in a place, no matter who is there, the first person to notice is definitely Song Ren. The second one is Lin Fan. The reason why I noticed Lin Fan was not because of her face, but because she was a girl, and her height and body shape were far different from those men. This was the first impression. Looking more carefully, oh, the girl is quite young, good looking, and has a good figure. She seems to have more say in a group of people. Later, Lee Chun-ho and Gao Fei will be seen. Lee Chun-ho is easy to attract attention because of his reckless personality, big mouth and big movements. Gao Fei has always maintained the image of a gentle student. He does nothing, but just standing there can trigger memories. On the contrary, Ji-Yu, who has a delicate appearance, is used to hiding behind people and observing, and is usually the last one to be noticed. judging from appearance alone. In fact, everyone has their own preferences, and it is difficult to tell the pros and cons. But Song Ren's age and experience add points to him. Even if they try to hide it, they still show strength and confidence in their daily life, which instantly turns Ji-Yu's calmness and restraint into scum. Just like the names of their mechas, Fu Guang and Bing Lun, hot and dazzling, and cold and mysterious. Each has its own beauty, and it is difficult to choose. If time goes back, it will be when Lin Fan is in his 20s, still working hard in Gao, and full of hope for life. When she suddenly saw these handsome guys, she had to look at them a few more times. It is normal to blush shyly, and even unable to walk, right? So it is not surprising that the girl is not calm. Who else can be calm? I thought Ji-Yu was a surprise, but I didn't expect that there would be more surprises besides surprises. It's like the original expectation was just a handsome guy, but when he came, he found that the handsome guy was actually comparable to an idol. Before I was happy, I found out that it was not an idol, but a boy group waiting for me. That sense of happiness is simply exponentially increasing. Lin Fan observed carefully, and found that, although the girl would glance at Ji-Yu and Song Ren shyly from time to time, her eyes were clear and she didn't seem to have any messy thoughts. Her movements were also very regular. She kept at least a fist's distance from Ji-Yu, and they were clearly separated, as if there was a dividing line between them. She didn't seem to want to get close to Ji-Yu. At least it didn't look like she wanted to have anything with Ji-Yu. Lin Fan was never willing to speculate about others with the greatest malice, thinking that this matter had not yet come to an end. Even if the girl really liked Song Ren, the man was unmarried, and the woman was unmarried, as long as she was not cheating on him, who didn't have the freedom to fall in love, right? Everyone has the right to choose, and she decided to respect that. Don't speculate before things come to a conclusion. After being distracted, the food became much more delicious. He ate and drank heartlessly until he received a call from Lin's mother unexpectedly. Lin Fan quickly made an excuse to go to the bathroom and walked out of the box to answer the call. On the way back to the box, he saw the girl waiting on the road. When he saw her, his eyes seemed to light up, and he came up to her with a smile. Lin. The girl got stuck as soon as she opened her mouth, as if she was thinking about what title to follow. Calling her sister was too intimate, and calling her miss would be insulting to some people. Just call me Lin Fan. Lin Fan said straightforwardly. Okay, Lin Fan. The girl's smile deepened. Just now I saw you looking at me several times. I was afraid that you had any misunderstandings, so I waited here to explain to you. Lin Fan had wanted to let her go, but after hearing her say that, he became interested again. What is there that needs to be explained when they meet for the first time? Besides, even if there is a misunderstanding, wouldn't it be clearer to explain it to Ji-Yu and Song Ren? She didn't believe that these two people who could see even ants from dozens of meters away didn't feel it. Besides, what was there to explain to her? She and these two people were just ordinary colleagues. But since they were here, it wouldn't matter if they listened. Lin Fan was silent, wanting to see what she was going to explain. The girl was born into a privileged family and grew up under strict discipline. It was not until she went to college that she found that the world was completely different from her original life. So her young heart began to rebel and embarked on a path that was completely different from her parents' expectations. Her belated heresy was actually not outrageous. She just put the painting skills she had learned since childhood to apply. With her skilled skills and wild imagination, she became a well-known painter in a short period of time. She enjoyed swimming in the world of painting, but when she graduated, she had to follow her parents' wishes and return home. Under the arrangement of her father, she became an ordinary university assistant. The painting career she loved could only be carried out underground. Today's blind date was not in line with her wishes, but she came here under the pressure of her parents' authority. She had no other thoughts about Ji-Yu and Song Ren. As painters, she simply appreciated their looks and wanted to use them in her own painting reference materials. Lin Fan understood, but felt that he didn't fully understand. According to what you said, you are already a well-known painter. You can definitely tell your family. Normal parents will be happy to see their children achieve good results. They may not force you to be a mediocre teacher. The girl sighed. You don't know what kind of paintings I draw. She took out her cell phone, bit her lip and hesitated. I'll show it to you. Don't let the elders know. Looking around, there was no one around, so she opened her phone to show Lin Fan. The young woman in her 40s opened up a new world. Chapter 791. Come on, little sister. So many handsome guys who are half covered, not wanting to show off. Although I know it's fake, but these muscles, this look, this. Shaha, shaha. Lin Fan seemed to hear the sound of his own saliva and swallowed hard. Look at this. The girl sighed again. Can I tell my parents? Lin Fan blinked and shook his head. Of course, he couldn't. As someone who had fought monsters and been to space, she felt that the scale was a bit unconventional. According to the girl, her parents were so conservative that they might not think that there was anything wrong with the girl's thinking if they knew. It's not conducive to family harmony. Yeah, that's why. The girl put away her phone. Anyway, my current job is still relatively leisurely, and it doesn't interfere with painting, and I can get an extra salary, so I'll do this first. When their control over me is not so strong, I'll slowly tell them. Lin Fan thought about Lin's mother and nodded. He was like this, and he still had to listen to Lin's mother's control. Although he might not really be able to control her, he understood the girl's difficulties. So, the young lady grabbed Lin Fan's hand. Can you understand how I feel when I see a handsome guy? He's alive, like a real person who has walked out of a comic book. It's really hard for me not to be excited. Countless images and scenes instantly appeared in my mind. I'm really excited. Lin Fan was not used to being grabbed by a stranger, but he hesitated and didn't dodge just now. It's not a good idea to shake him off now, so he could only let the other party shake him around. Fortunately, the other party shook for a while, probably noticed Lin Fan's stiffness, and quickly let go. Anyway, this is the reason. The young lady said embarrassedly. I know you are all very good people. I don't want you to misunderstand me, but I'm embarrassed to face them directly, so I can only ask you to explain. I'm so abrupt. I'm really sorry. After listening to the whole story, Lin Fan didn't think it was a big deal. Song Ren and Ji didn't care about other people's eyes, and she stopped thinking again. Even Lee Chun-ho might just be watching the fun, and was only focused on eating. Maybe from beginning to end, only the young lady herself cared about the misunderstanding she would cause others. Don't worry, I'll explain it to them. Seeing that the young lady was about to speak, he quickly added, I'll remind them not to let the elders know. Don't worry. The young lady smiled with relief. But seriously, Lin Fan asked curiously, are you really not attracted to Ji or Song Ren? After all, they are both really good, no matter from which aspect. The young lady smiled shyly. Actually, it would be a lie to say that I'm not attracted to them at all. After all, that face is there, unless you are blind or have a problem with your aesthetics, who cannot be tempted by it at first glance. Lin Fan nodded. Wasn't she almost bewitched by Song Ren's face a few days ago? She was so familiar with him, and he was still like this, not to mention the first time they met. The impact was comparable to a tsunami and a landslide. But my ideal marriage is warm and long lasting. My husband should be able to stay with me for a long time. The young lady felt something was not right after she said this. I know you pilots are great and contribute to all of us, but I want a husband who will always be with me. I can see him after get off work, and he doesn't have to sit next to me when I paint, but we will stay in the same home. I understand. Lin Fan comforted her. Well, work and rest schedule will indeed put a lot of pressure on the other half. The young lady saw that Lin Fan understood her and smiled with relief. I'm especially grateful to you and understand you, but my life is my own after all. No matter how outstanding Ji is, I have already passed him by in terms of companionship and time. So his appearance and academic qualifications are not plus points for me, but insignificant decorations. My parents have always had a good relationship, and what I have learned from what I have seen and heard is that marriage also needs to be managed. It requires emotional exchange and communication between two people to maintain stability and warmth in the long run. It's not that one-sided efforts are impossible, but it's too tiring, and I don't think I can do it. Sorry. What do you have to be sorry about? Lin Fan smiled. Although Jiu is a good person, not every girl would cry and shout to marry him, right? Just looking at Gaohi, I don't know how many girls would fight for him. The young lady chuckled. My parents think Jiu is very good. Even though he is not at home all year round, he has a good job and good salary. Moreover, it is not easy to have conflicts when he is not at home, and it is easier to maintain the freshness of marriage. In case we have children in the future, it will be convenient for them to help. I don't know whether I'm getting married or they are shifting the responsibility in a different way. Lin Fan couldn't comment. Anyway, they are thinking about you. I know this, but I still can't agree with the difference in views caused by the times. The young lady has her own ideas. If I really get married one day, my husband must be a sweetheart who can bring me spiritual support and life companionship. Not a decoration with good conditions in all aspects. Besides, not everyone can accept my painting. So, I still hope to find a soulmate to spend the rest of my life with. Besides, don't I still have to fight with my parents in the future? The young lady blinked mischievously. Yeah, sister, come on. Lin Fan made a fist gesture to her. She really hopes that such a well-organized and capable young lady can have a bright and happy future. Yeah, come on. The young lady also clenched her fist and then smiled at Lin Fan. Seeing her step up and prepare to go back to the box, Lin Fan held the phone in his hand, and after a long struggle, he finally asked, well, what is the URL where I can see your painting? The young lady seemed to have been prepared. Not surprisingly, she added Lin Fan as a friend and then sent him several URLs and also recommended several other big touch wives. Looking at the screen full of handsome two-dimensional guys, Lin Fan felt that today's dinner was finally worth the price. Where have you been? It took you so long to come back? The boss just went out to look for you. As soon as he sat down, Lee Chun-hua came over and whispered. Really? Lin Fan glanced at Song Ren, who seemed to be unaware. I didn't meet him. It should be that Song Ren saw that he was talking to the young lady and didn't come over to call for help. When he turned around, he saw the young lady smiling at him and blinking. Lin Fan thought of what he had asked for just now and smiled back at her shyly, but Lee Chun-hua came up to him and rubbed his ears again in surprise. Look, she's smiling at the boss again. Lin Fan pushed his head away. She was smiling at me. Huh. Lee Chun-hua was stunned. Why? Is she attracted to you again? You two were chatting outside just now, right? What did you talk about? Lin Fan put a large piece of pork ribs in his bowl. Eating can't stop you from talking. Talk later. Lee Chun-hua didn't ask any more questions and started to chew the pork ribs obediently. Lin Fan turned around and saw that there were already a lot of dishes in his bowl. Considering Lee Chun-hua's personality, it should be someone who would not do this. That is Song Ren. Turning his head to look at him, he saw him grinning at him. Oh my god. He's really a comic book guy. Lin Fan blushed when he thought of the handsome guy in the second dimension. Chapter 792. Is she happy? After the meal, Lin Fan and the other two said goodbye first, but unexpectedly, Jiu followed them out. Lin Fan saw the embarrassed looks on Ji's father and mother's faces, but he couldn't say that it was wrong for his son to send his leader and colleague, so he just kept smiling at the girl's parents. The young lady gave Lin Fan another playful wink, but when she saw Song Ren, Jiu and Lee Chun-hua looking at her, she blushed and lowered her head in embarrassment. People. Lin Fan sighed. It is really difficult to tell what a person's heart is like from their appearance. As soon as they got downstairs, Lee Chun-hua couldn't help asking Lin Fan about the whole story, but Lin Fan refused to say anything and wanted to wait until they got in the car. As a result, when they got in the car, Jiu also sat in the back seat. Lee Chun-hua didn't bother to pester Lin Fan anymore. Why did you come up here? Your parents and a relative are all up there? Jiu fastened his seatbelt calmly. I'll take you for a ride. Forget it. Lee Chun-hua said disdainfully. If you want to avoid the blind date, just say so directly. Don't use us as a banner. Yeah. Jiu didn't argue and just admitted it. Lee Chun-hua felt bored and ran over to pester Lin Fan again. Can you tell me now? Lin Fan repeated what the young lady said. What is a bookmaker? Lee Chun-hua asked. Lin Fan didn't know how to explain. Give me your phone. Ji suddenly said to Lee Chun-hua. What for? Lee Chun-hua didn't understand, but still took out her phone, unlocked it and handed it to Ji. Ji opened the browser, opened the most famous search website, and handed it back to Lee Chun-hua. Search for yourself. TSK. Lee Chun-hua took it and searched it. Wow, this girl is awesome. He gave a thumbs up and gave a high evaluation. She's so bold, no wonder she doesn't dare to tell her family. Ji seemed to have known what they were talking about for a long time and didn't even glance at them. Song Ren tilted his head, but it was inconvenient to look because he was driving. Lin Fan turned on his phone, entered the girl's homepage, clicked on a picture, and sent it to him while the car was parked. After staring at the phone for 2 seconds, he suddenly remembered that it seemed not good to show this kind of painting to male colleagues and quickly took it back. Fortunately, Song Ren's expression didn't change. Lin Fan secretly cursed himself for being stupid, and then he heard Lee Chun-hua making a fuss behind him. I want to see. What does the girl's painting look like? In Lin Fan's mind, Lee Chun-hua and Song Ren are two different existences. Song Ren has given it to him, so it doesn't matter if Lee Chun-hua takes a look, so he handed over the phone. Wow, it's really beautiful. Lee Chun-hua praised it without hesitation. Although I don't understand art, these paper figures are wearing less, but they really look good. Ji also glanced at them sideways after hearing this. Really? I said that the girl is amazing. Her painting skills are just right. If this subject matter didn't have a small audience, she might be more famous. Lin Fan took back his phone and said happily. Yeah, she is a talented girl. Lee Chun-hua affirmed and turned to ask Ji again. Speaking of which, don't you really want to consider it? Although this girl doesn't love you, there are always girls who love you. You are at this age, and you should consider marriage. Have you said this to Captain Song? Ji asked calmly. There were 4 people in their car, and except for Lee Chun-hua, they were all single. Among them, Lin Fan was the eldest, but her face looked small, so it was easy for people to ignore this problem. Song Ren, who had just transformed into biological armor, became the most likely person to be urged to get married with his mature face in his 30s. Lee Chun-hua paused. The boss knows it himself. I don't need to tell you. I'm talking about you. Don't interrupt. Now that you're married, do you really feel happy? Ji asked Lee Chun-hua a soul-searching question. Nonsense, of course. Lee Chun-hua immediately smiled and started to show off. Look at my wife, my daughter, our family. Haven't you just experienced it? I don't know how happy it is. You are talking about your feelings. What about your wife's feelings? Is it the same as yours? Ji asked again. Then when Lee Chun-hua couldn't finish his answer, he knew what Ji wanted to say. Under normal circumstances, we only have 10 days of leave a year, and we can't apply for military service like ordinary soldiers. Getting married like this, but leaving the other party in a state of empty guard for a long time, is really a responsible attitude towards marriage? Is such a marriage relationship really healthy? Is it conducive to the growth of children? Is your wife really as happy as you think? Ji's question was thought-provoking. His thoughts were actually similar to Song Ren's. It's just that Song Ren started from the perspective of feelings, and he started from the structure of marriage. Lee Chun-hua had nothing to say. He knew that his wife Shimao was a very good person. So good that Shimao helped him decide to switch to 800, and after knowing that she was going to separate from him, she did not hesitate or stop him, just let him work with peace of mind, and she would take good care of the family. Over the years, Shimao has done very well. Except for Xiaoyu's sudden situation, Lee Chun-hua has never had to say anything about the family affairs. Even when their daughter Hu was born, Lee Chun-hua only knew the result. The process was difficult, but Shimao never mentioned a word in front of Lee Chun-hua. It was Lee's mother who secretly told Lee Chun-hua about the situation at the time behind her daughter-in-law's back, and asked Lee Chun-hua to treat Shimao well for the rest of her life. Otherwise the old couple would break his legs and never recognize this son again. Lee Chun-hua is not unaware of Shimao's hard work, but many times, this hard work seems to have become a matter of course, and has been ignored intentionally or unintentionally. As long as it is not mentioned, it seems that nothing will happen in life. But is it really the case? The life of an adult is not easy. Shimao was always lively in front of Lee Chun-hua, with all kinds of expressions, angry and coquettish, but most of the time, she looked at herself with a happy and sweet smile, which made Lee Chun-hua feel that Shimao was also happy. But people always have their 7 emotions and 6 desires. Like this time, if Lee Chun-hua hadn't happened to see Xiao, she wouldn't have seen Shimao and Lee Ma crying, and naturally she wouldn't know what grievances they had suffered. Lee Chun-hua opened her mouth, but couldn't say anything. He didn't know what to say, and he couldn't say anything. Language is always lacking in expressing emotions, not to mention that he had no solution at all. When Gao Fei said he wanted to retire, everyone stopped him. What about him? At present, he seems to be living a happy life, and his family has arranged everything properly. Does he want to end his current life and return to his family? Is it necessary? But if not, Shimao and the others will continue to have him for only a few days a year. Lee Chun-hua felt bitter in her mouth. It was like a child was suddenly thrown into a complex environment and began to be at a loss. He also loves his current job and has given everything for it, but it seems he also feels guilty towards his family. This vicious cycle seems to have no solution unless it is broken in the middle and turned to another direction. Lee Chun-hua covered his face with his hands and sighed silently. The car was suddenly shrouded in a depressed atmosphere. Brotherly, I don't mean anything else by saying this. Seeing that the situation was not right, Gu came out to make amends. I know the relationship between Sister Shi and you. I just want to say, if I have a wife, I don't want her to experience a widow-like marriage and children in a long wait. At least, I don't consider marriage when my work and rest schedule cannot be changed at present. It would have been better if he didn't say it. Lee Chun-hua was even more sad when he said it. Thinking about the childhood sweetheart relationship between Shimao and him since they were young, it seems that he hasn't given her many good days until now. Lee Chun-hua fell into a tangled vicious circle. Lin Fan saw his depressed look from the rearview mirror and didn't know how to comfort him. Song Ren looked at him for a while and found that he couldn't come out and speak. As a woman, Shimao can handle everything and never show anything in front of us, but you act like this because of a few words. Are you worthy of Shimao, who has worked hard for you and endured everything? Chapter 793, The Controlled Genius Child. Lee Chun-hua shook her head violently. You know I'm sorry, but why don't you cheer up? Song Ren's tone was stern. Although he didn't scold her, it sounded a little scary. Think about why you joined the army in the first place. Because Shimao liked me. Lee Chun-hua rubbed her face and gave a surprising answer. She has admired soldiers since she was a child. I wanted her to always look at me with those sparkling eyes of admiration, so I signed up. Then you got what you wanted. Shimao's eyes are still sparkling when she looks at you now. Song Ren said again. They could all see that Shimao's love for Lee Chun-hua could be reflected in the subtle body language, not to mention the dull eyes. As soon as she looked at him, it was really full of love, which made people envious. Yes, she still sees me as the same as before. Lee Chun-hua murmured, but I feel even more sorry for her. You feel sorry for her, so you are worried about gains and losses here? Song Ren said, then how do you want to be worthy of her? Apply for retirement and go home? Bring the report to me, and I will approve it immediately. No. Lee Chun-hua blurted out, and then froze for several seconds, before frowning and murmured, I won't retire. Since you have made up your mind not to retire, then don't waver. It is a foregone conclusion that you can't help in life, so make more achievements at work, let your family be proud of you, and it won't be a waste of time for others to wait for you. Yes. Lee Chun-hua seemed to be convinced by Song Ren, or perhaps knew that there was no other way, and responded loudly. I will definitely work hard to train, achieve better results at work, and let my wife and family be proud of me. The voice was so loud that it was already a roar in the end. Lin Fan didn't think it was too noisy, but was full of emotion. Defending the country is easier said than done, but there are too many people who have been let down. Lee Chun-hua's uncomfortable mood seemed to be vented with this roar. Although he still did not return to his usual cheerful mood, he was no longer depressed and obsessed with trivial matters. Gu, the culprit, seemed to be unaware of Lee Chun-hua's awkwardness and asked about their activities for tomorrow. Can the visit to the Special Affairs Office be moved forward? In short, his stay at home may be shorter than originally planned. It's impossible to move it to tomorrow, even if it's moved forward. Lin Fan raised his finger and scratched. Gao Fei is still at home. You can't let him leave his grandparents behind and fly over here in the middle of the night, and it's hard to say whether there are flights to Gao at night. After speaking, he took out his mobile phone and searched carefully. Lee Chun-ho had just experienced the torture of conscience from the warmth of family and thought that he should tell Ji-yu some philosophy of life. You have only been in Gao for 3 days, one of which was moved to the Special Affairs Office. 2 days is too much. Don't you think that 2 days is too much? Don't take advantage of your youth and don't care about the time to reunite with your family. It was fine at first, but I didn't expect that the blind date would suddenly come up. I guess if I were there, no one would feel comfortable, so it's better to avoid it. Ji-yu said frankly. I'm not taking advantage of my youth, it's just that my parents. Ji-yu paused. You may have seen that, although they are very good to me, they have a strong desire to control me, as long as it involves me. They have to ask about everything about me, including the clothes I wear today. They can't even choose what clothes I can wear according to my wishes. Lin Fan turned around and took a look at Ji-yu's clothes. It's quite ordinary, I don't see anything special. Yeah, for such trivial matters, just give in to them. Anyway, you won't be at home for 2 days. Lee Chun-ho also said, it is these ordinary little things that happen in daily life that have been running through my entire life since I was a child, and they are densely woven into a suffocating web. I used to think that the difference between me and other children was an IQ, but later, I found that it was not. They have the right to choose, but I don't. This is the first time that Ji-yu has taken the initiative to talk about this. From his family environment, his parents' attitude towards others, and Ji-yu's own personality after growing up, it can be seen that he has been well educated since he was a child. Ji's father and mother must have spent a lot of effort to make such a genius into a young man without any personality distortion. Lin Fan once sighed that it would be great if Lin's mother could be as elegant and polite as Ji-yu's mother, speak softly, and never raise her voice. Now that he heard this, he decided to forget it. Sure enough, every family has its own problems. The family that the genius Ji-yu couldn't handle, she shouldn't challenge it with her brain. When I was a kid, it was normal for them to help me make decisions when I had no ability to distinguish. Later, when I was able to make my own choices, I found that everything had been determined by them, and I could only accept the only option within a limited range. What if you don't accept it? Lee Chun-ho was curious. After I was confirmed to have a high IQ, this matter became a hot topic. In order to ensure that my nutrition can be adequately supplied to my brain, my family has all kinds of brain-nourishing soups every meal. That's fine, at least it can be a change, but the dishes are all fixed with the same few combinations, saying that they are scientifically proportioned. I want to eat braised pork ribs today, but no, stewed soup is more nutritious for me. I can't eat more, and I can't not eat, but I can't. Ji-yu said here, and smiled coldly. I don't know whether the object of their concern is me, their son, or the fat in my brain. It was the first time that Lin Fan heard someone use fat to describe the brain, and it was Ji-yu, who had a high IQ. So it turns out that, if you don't need it, you won't care. Awesome, brother. I eat the same food every day, read the books they designated, and go shopping only in places like museums, as if this would not waste my high IQ. Although I have to write a short essay every time I come back, that is a rare happy time for me. When other children are playing, I'm studying. When they are studying, I'm still studying. I don't understand. I'm so much smarter than most children. Why do I have to spend more time studying? But every time I protest, my high IQ seems to have never appeared, and I become the right to speak for an ordinary child. They won't make a fuss like ordinary parents. My dad would only sigh, with a deep face, as if he didn't know what to say to me. My mom, with a wronged look on her face, sometimes even crying, said that the family has provided me with the best. A car full of people listened quietly to Ji-yu's statement in the flashing neon lights, and it seemed that they could all see the child trapped by his own IQ. All I want is a choice, but no one gives me this right. My parents think, I have given you the best life with all my heart. What else do you want? Tell others, and they will say, GU, your parents are so good to you. You should be grateful, and you can't be ungrateful. Later, I stopped talking. GU sighed. So when I took the college entrance examination, I took the aviation exam, and that's when I really got rid of their control and gained freedom. It's not that I don't know how good they are to me. I know that without them, I wouldn't be who I'm today, but despite this, every time I think of home, my first feeling is not warmth, but dilemma. Even though I'm now more mature, I still can't get rid of this blood network. To be honest, G's father and mother really know how to advance and retreat when dealing with outsiders, as if they only leave all their strength to their children. And this strength is not reflected on the surface, but they smile and give you a choice that you can't refuse, forcing you to swallow it, but outsiders can't see it at all. They mentioned the blind date last night, and I turned it down. I thought the matter was over, but who would have thought that I would see a few more people when I arrived at the hotel. If you weren't on the way, I really wanted to leave. GU got a little excited when he said this, and it was rare for him to show his emotions. I clearly told them the reasons, but in the end it was of no avail. They just want to feel what they want, and don't care about how I feel at all. I'm so far away from them, and I only come back for a few days a year, but their desire to control me still hasn't subsided much. If I'm the trigger, then I'd better come back less often. Maybe see you once every few years, so that their brains filled with control can cool down. Chapter 794, Sympathy for One's Kind. Lin Fan felt a little sad after hearing the last part, and he actually found his own shadow in GU. They are both typical people who want to escape from their families, but can't escape completely. You say they are not good, but they are indeed full of you, worrying about your food, worrying about your drink, and afraid that you are not well fed and clothed, and there is no abuse in the literal sense. But to say that they are good, people don't want to get close to them when they think of their families. This non-extreme contradictory state of mind is actually more troublesome than simple happiness or breakup. It is not easy to give up this relationship, but it seems powerless to maintain it. It's just that Lin Fan can basically suppress Lin's mother from going crazy now, but GU obviously can't. In other words, in the current state, he is still willing to maintain an illusion of peace, and he is unwilling, and there is no need to tear up that layer of balanced skin for the time being. Healthy and harmonious family relationships are simple to say, but in real life, there are always problems of one kind or another that are eliminated or magnified, leaving different marks in everyone's heart. Just like Lin Fan, who was arbitrarily belittled by Lin's mother since childhood as a comparison object. Even though Lin Fan could understand that she was urging him after he became an adult, the little Lin Fan was hurt at that time. This also caused Lin Fan to have low self-esteem in her heart. No matter how strong and sunny she looked on the outside, once she suffered enough psychological blows, she would collapse immediately because she did not have a strong enough core. Even now, she is the first female warrior of Langsing who can switch the Mecha state at will, but her low self-esteem will come out from time to time and affect her judgment. GU is the same. He is smarter than Lin Fan and can digest many emotional problems by himself. But because of this, he developed an overly introverted personality. It's not that being introverted is bad, but it always feels a bit pity for GU. So GU always likes to hide behind people and observe without leaving a trace, like a hunting snake, the kind that will move and bite you to death at any time. Such an adjective is actually very inappropriate to use on GU, but he just developed such a temperament because of his silence and closure since childhood. So sometimes he feels a little cold and is highly sensitive to emotions, but has low feedback, which is also due to his childhood. If GU had met Lee Chun-ho's parents or Wu Yusen's parents when he was a child, he would not be like this now. He would definitely be more cheerful and smile as sunny as Gao Fei, right? Maybe he would not embark on the path of a Mecha pilot like today, but it is entirely possible that he will shine in another field. Children with unfortunate childhoods spend their whole lives healing their childhoods with time, but no matter how they repair it, the broken whole will never be restored to its original state. Lin Fan shivered uncontrollably. Fortunately, she doesn't have to worry about these things. Ami tofu, God bless you. What? Too cold? Song-ren immediately turned up the air conditioner a few degrees. No, no. Lin Fan waved his hand, turned his head and asked, so you plan to leave this time and not come back next year? Let them wait a few more years, miss you so much, and then come back. By then, they will be busy loving you and forget to control you, right? If nothing unexpected happens, this is the plan. GU nodded. They are now in their prime. Their work and health are in the best condition. There is no need for me to worry about anything. Now is the best opportunity. Now that you mention it, I feel that it is not easy for you either. Lee Chun-hua is a person with strong empathy. After listening to what GU said, all his original sadness was almost thrown away. He put a hand on GU's shoulder and came up to greet his brother. If you have anything in the future, just tell me. I find that your parents will have some problems. No, I mean, look at my family. My parents are fine. There is nothing wrong with them. Although they beat me a lot when I was a child and disciplined me a lot, compared with yours, forget it. I won't say anything. The more he spoke, the more unreliable it was. It was inappropriate to say anything about other people's parents. Lee Chun-hua chose to shut up. Haha, I'm just poor and picky. Lin Fan laughed to himself. The more particular you are, the easier it is to have problems in life, and you don't even realize it before you end up hurting your child. And then you say, I work so hard for you, and then the child's life is kidnapped. It's true. It seems people have to live a rough life to be satisfied. Lee Chun-hua became excited. Take everything into an open-minded way, and don't force yourself into a dead end. He was talking so excitedly that he completely forgot that he was the one who was thinking into a dead end. Yeah. Lin Fan followed up. I'm living a rough life now. I love to do whatever I want. I do whatever I feel comfortable with. It's so comfortable. Mom doesn't have to worry about my studies anymore. Lee Chun-hua wanted to nod, but then thought it was not right. Then no matter how rough you are, you have to remember to put on makeup. It costs tens of thousands of dollars. Don't waste it. Ha 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 ha. Lin Fan laughed. Lee Chun-hua, you are really amazing. Suddenly saying this. Ha ha ha. Next time I buy things, I dare not take you with me. Buy one time and study for 3 years. Don't say 3 years. If you don't use it up well, I can still study for 30 years. Don't believe it. Try it. Lee Chun-hua said. This time, not only Lin Fan, but also GU and Song-ren laughed. This funny guy is really getting more and more excited as he talks. Fortunately, the joyful atmosphere broke his worries just now. Otherwise, if he was left alone to relax, he might not be able to relax. Song-ren dropped GU off at the nearest subway station. He did not refuse his request to go with him, but it was impossible tonight. Although the Special Affairs Office now allows them to enter and exit freely, one more person still needs to greet them, and GU also needs to go back and explain everything before leaving. GU was not disappointed. He made a phone call gesture and got off the bus leisurely. A handsome man with fluttering sleeves. Lin Fan watched GU walk away without looking back and could not help but recite it aloud. You girls all like this? Lee Chun-hua leaned against the window and watched. Like it. Young and handsome normal girls like it. Lin Fan answered casually. Song-ren subconsciously glanced at his face in the rearview mirror. Do you like it too? After Lee Chun-hua returned to normal, she started gossiping again. I like it. Lin Fan agreed immediately, but don't play tricks. I like you just the same way. Don't involve me in love between men and women. My dictionary is now full of justice and glory, but there is no option for love between men and women. Lee Chun-hua shrank to the backseat and silently cast a sympathetic look at Song-ren. Sorry, boss, I can't help you. The car sped all the way and soon returned to the Special Affairs Office. Lin Fan sent them back to their residence. First he sent Lee Chun-hua into the house, then Song-ren. The big moon in the sky was the same as outside, big and round. The two walked on the beach, listening to the sound of the tide, and it was rare to be leisurely unhappy. Song-ren lagged behind and spoke first. Lin Fan stopped and looked back with a little surprise. Is it obvious? No, I just think that according to your personality, you will definitely be sad after listening to what GU said. Song-ren replied naturally. Lin Fan faced the sea and looked quietly into the dark distance. I'm not very sad. Maybe it's just a bit of sympathy. And then I'm just glad that I don't have children. Are you glad that you don't have children? Song Ren also looked out to the sea like her. The two stood side by side, half an arm's length apart. It was a distance that was neither far nor close. Yeah, incredible, isn't it? Lin Fan said with a smile. I've thought since I was a child that I must be a good mother in the future and not let my children be the same as me. And for a long time afterwards, I worked hard for this, wanting to create better living conditions for my child who doesn't even exist yet. But now I'm glad that I don't have children. Time is indeed the biggest variable. Everything in the world will change with the passage of time, whether it's dreams or people's hearts. Chapter 795. In order for us to meet. I actually agree with Jiu's point of view. Lin Fan looked at the vast artificial sea, as if the depression in her heart was also taken away by the waves. You all know my situation. Getting married and having children are normal things for ordinary people, but for me, it is even more unattainable than breaking out of Lansing and landing on Mars. There are too many things involved, including but not limited to her old illness, and the interests of the entire Land League that were previously limited to each country, which will now affect all aspects of the Land League. But even if I can, I feel that I may not be the good mother I dream of now. Lin Fan said lightly. Why do you say that? Song Ren asked. Lin Fan shrugged. Maybe it's because the time when I miss you the most has passed, and the love has disappeared. She laughed crisply a few times, and then said, you know that I actually dislike my mother's personality, right? I have always been determined not to be a person like my mother. Song Ren nodded silently. Extreme family conflicts usually lead to two results. One is assimilation, and the other is distance. But my ex-boyfriend once told me, he said, you always say bad things about your mother, but you are exactly like her. Lin Fan sniffed and laughed. So many years have passed, his face has become blurry, but I can never forget this sentence. I'm afraid of my mother, and I'm also afraid that one day I will become the mother I once feared. So not having children is actually the best option for me, isn't it? He's talking nonsense. How are you like your mother? Song Ren frowned. I thought he was talking nonsense at first, but now I think it's not entirely true. Lin Fan shook his head with a chuckle. Genes are magical, just like the octopus gene in my body. Only a tiny bit of it has led to my current changes, not to mention my mother who is my direct blood relative. Thinking carefully, I should also have some paranoid element, and I'm easily emotional. Otherwise why would I suddenly jump off the bridge that day? Right? Maybe these elements are not obvious, but who can guarantee that in the future, when encountering trivial matters and accumulated emotions, I will not become like that? Lin Fan shook his head firmly. I don't want to become like that, so I will stop here and leave myself a perfect space, which is also good. If you didn't have that impulse, the series of things that followed would not happen. Song Ren turned to look at her. Have you ever thought that all of this might just be for us to meet? Lin Fan turned his head. Under the bright moonlight, Song Ren's profile was particularly three-dimensional in the light and shadow, like a charming monster who wanted to seduce her to a place she didn't want to go. Lin Fan looked at him steadily, without avoiding or blushing. But when Song Ren was about to speak, he turned his head and burst out laughing. You're right. If I hadn't jumped, I wouldn't have met you. The we Song Ren said included Lin Fan and himself, and he was not sure if there were other people. But when Lin Fan said you, she put Song Ren and everyone else together, as if Song Ren was no different from Lee Chun-hoo and Ji-yu in her heart. Song Ren was not sure if Lin Fan said this deliberately for him to hear. Did she discover what he was thinking, rejecting him in this way? Or was it just a coincidence? Song Ren was silent for a moment, but decided to continue. Then apart from the children, have you ever thought about finding someone else to accompany you? This time, Lin Fan kept looking at the sea for a long time without answering him. But Song Ren knew she heard it. He didn't urge her, but stood quietly shoulder to shoulder with her, standing on the shore to watch the sea. Oh, it's so frustrating. Lee Chun-hoo held her phone against the window and took a sneak shot with her bud sticking out. After he returned to the house, he thought about his wife again. He wanted to call Chimayo at the beach, but before he went out, he saw Lin Fan and Song Ren walking on the beach from the window. That was incredible. He decisively called Gao Fei and GU to start a live video broadcast. He filmed the conversation between Lin and Song for as long as they talked. Seeing that they were quiet, he couldn't help but want to intervene. Could it be that Captain Song's confession was rejected? Gao Fei said on the phone. No. GU refused. Captain Song doesn't fight a battle he is not sure of. He won't speak until he has the overall situation in his hands. Then what's the relationship between the two of them like? Lee Chun-ho was anxious. Why is there so much trouble in a relationship? My wife and I didn't have such a bad relationship back then. Brotherly, you and sister she have known each other since childhood. Your emotional foundation is different, right? Gao Fei shouted. Captain Song has also had a rough love life. He has obviously liked Sister Lin for a long time, but he didn't dare to say it out loud before due to various reasons, GU said calmly, as if he was not involved in the matter. Now he has a biological armor, and finally his strength is equal, but it doesn't seem to help him much. Yes. Lee Chun-ho slapped his thigh. I've been talking about this before. With Lin Fan's strength, which man dares to offend her? No one can withstand a punch from a Mecha. Now it's good. The boss can also transform into a Mecha, so he is not afraid of being beaten. You make it sound like my sister is very violent. Gao Fei stood up for Lin Fan. My sister is so gentle. Brotherly, I'm not trying to hit you, GU added. Even if Sister Lin doesn't get on the Mecha, you will most likely be defeated by her. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Lee Chun-ho was unhappy. I don't know Lin Fan yet. She is very agile, but she is weak. If I don't hold back and let her go, how can she possibly defeat me? If you don't believe me, try it back. GU saw him waving his phone and the image was not clear, so he hurriedly said, aim quickly. Are they moving? Lin Fan thought about the sea for a long time. Does she need company? It seems that she does. But does she need that kind of one-on-one intimate company? It seems that there is no such demand at present. Moreover, the variables of love between men and women are too large and difficult to control. She herself is not good at dealing with emotional problems. From previous experiences, it can be seen that giving a mediocre evaluation is considered polite. It is not easy to break free from the shackles and relax herself. Is it necessary to take that risk for a need that is not very necessary? Lin Fan thinks it is still too risky. It's not that she didn't understand Song Ren's gaze, and it's not that she couldn't feel Wu Yusen's goodness, but she didn't dare, and she didn't allow herself to repeat the same mistake, even if these two people were the best of the best. But she still didn't dare. Moreover, being friends doesn't mean that they are suitable to be lovers. If it breaks down in the end, she may face the loss of one or more friends. It's not worth it to use a reliable friend to gamble with a person who may not be suitable. It's still good to be friends like now, stable, lasting, and not easy to get hurt. She found 1,000 reasons in her heart to slowly convince herself to be content with the status quo, that if you don't get it, you won't lose it, and investing in work is more rewarding than investing in feelings. So, Song Ren finally waited for her calm smile. She said, when I was a child, I always thought that I wouldn't be lonely when I grew up, but when I grew up, I realized that loneliness is the norm in life. I already have Xingqian, why do I need a bicycle? Song Ren understood her unspoken refusal and didn't continue to disturb her. Anyway, Lin Fan himself said that time will change everything. The two walked to Song Ren's residence one after the other, as if nothing had happened. Hey, Lin Fan smiled. Did he agree? Lee Chun-ho was excited. He didn't know that in the information room of the Special Affairs Office, a group of hacker bosses were also watching the live broadcast on his mobile phone screen. Because they are outsiders, all circulation data must be checked first and foremost, and they must go through the security check process in the information room. So as soon as he made a call, a monitor in the information department was directly synchronized. But no one cared at first, until Lin Fan appeared later, in the same frame with Song Ren. The atmosphere was good, and coupled with the conversation between Lee Chun-ho and others, everyone in the information room dropped their work, and gathered to watch the gossip of the boss. Wang Fengfeng was even more anxious, when he heard what Lee Chun-ho said. Where is he from Anchor? How could he let others score points on his own territory? This is a tower being stolen. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 796, Picking Up GU. Lee Chun-hua tossed and turned all night and couldn't sleep. In the morning, he woke up with unusually swollen eyelids. He was anxious to know what happened the night before, but after seeing Song Ren's glance, his curiosity seemed to be less intense, and he was left with a languid tiredness. Hey, Lin Fan was sad to see Lee Chun-hua listless and with drooping eyelids. What's wrong? Lee Chun-hua saw Lin Fan's eyes light up and then dimmed again. Nothing. I didn't sleep well because of mosquitoes. Lin Fan raised his eyebrows. It was not easy to find a live mosquito in the underground city of the Special Affairs Bureau. He concluded that Lee Chun-hua was disturbed by other things, probably because she was sad after going back home at night, so he didn't continue to ask. The three went to the cafeteria to find food and happened to meet Wu Yusen, who was also going to the cafeteria for breakfast, so they naturally went together. Wu Yusen seemed to accompany everyone to finish breakfast normally and then hurried to the Supernatural Academy. I thought he was free today and would accompany us all the time, but he only accompanies us for breakfast, Lee Chun-hua muttered. Who said it wasn't? Lin Fan peeled an egg. He's in such a hurry, he might as well not come. It makes people worry about him. The two of them muttered to each other about John Woo. Song Ren, however, felt John Woo's vague investigation, but he didn't know why. After breakfast, he went to pick up GU first. This buddy came out early in the morning with his luggage, found a 24-hour McDonald's, sat for a cup of coffee for a long time, and waited. He didn't get up and leave until he saw the black domineering car coming. If you don't leave, I think the waiter will kick you out. Lee Chun-hua saw GU get in the car and joked with a smile. That won't happen. GU threw the bag behind him. The turnover is not linked to their salary. In theory, how long I sit here has nothing to do with the clerk. You also know that it's in theory. Lee Chun-hua snorted, unconvinced. In theory, many things in this world will never happen. You know how to live. GU praised Lee Chun-hua expressionlessly, causing his logic to suddenly get stuck, and he couldn't continue the conversation for a while. Lin Fan handed GU the temporary pass he had prepared for him in the morning. Have you talked to your family? Is everything okay? GU glanced at the card and put it in his trouser pocket. There won't be a big quarrel in our family, but it's definitely unpleasant. You probably won't like to hear the details, so I won't tell you. Don't tell me. Let's talk about something happy. Lin Fan hurriedly avoided him. Gao Fen's flight is this afternoon, right? Is he on the same flight as us? Yes. Lee Chun-hua climbed into the front seat again, but he's alone, and he bought an economy class ticket. Isn't it possible to upgrade the cabin? Lin Fan took out his cell phone, then remembered that he didn't know how to do it, so he turned around and asked GU, can I do it? How do I get it for him? Before, GU was the one who bought their tickets, and Lin Fan habitually asked him to solve problems. He bought it with his own account, so it's not easy for you to upgrade his cabin. GU replied, unless you are a big VIP of the airline, you may have the authority to help others upgrade their cabins. Then I probably don't have that. I don't take civil aviation a few times a year, so I shouldn't meet the VIP standard. Lin Fan said regretfully. That's nothing. Lee Chun-hua didn't care. There's basically no difference between Gao Fei sitting in economy class and business class alone. They all take off, wait for meals, and sleep before arriving. If you still feel uncomfortable, why not book a business class ticket for him to go back? Lin Fan thought about it and agreed, so he stopped worrying about it. He asked Lee Chun-hua casually, after you finish your visit tomorrow, do you want to go back to spend time with your family? When Lee Chun-hua left Lee's house before, her excuse was that she wanted to visit the Special Affairs office. Now that the trip is halfway through and the Special Affairs office is about to be completed, the only thing left is Song Ren's house. It doesn't matter whether he goes with them or not. And Lee Chun-hua was very sad yesterday, feeling guilty about his family. Lin Fan felt that he should stay at home for a few more days. Not for the time being. How could Lee Chun-hua leave at this time? If Lin Fan had asked him this question in the car last night, he might have agreed, but after watching the silent film performed by these two people at night, Lee Chun-hua decided to postpone the family reunion for the captain's lifelong event. These two are so tepid, when will they finally break the ice? Lee Chun-hua is so anxious. If not, he will be the hand that pokes the sky, which is better than them always being so hesitant, right? I believe Yu will also support her father's decision for the happiness of her godparents, right? Huh. Lin Fan was surprised. You are like this, and you still want to accompany Song Ren home? She looked back and forth at Lee Chun-hua's swollen eyes and Song Ren's profile while driving. It's really a touching brotherhood. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Lee Chun-hua pushed her fist away. It's not about brotherhood. I just feel that such opportunities to go out together may not be often in the future. Although I have less time to spend with my relatives, I have the opportunity to go home to visit my relatives every year. But when we travel together, it's full of memories like now, but it will be less and less. Of course, I have to cherish it. This is the truth. The first group trip was for Lin Fan, and this time, it was actually for Lin Fan. If nothing unexpected happens, and Lin Fan doesn't have any special circumstances, there will be no chance for such a group trip again. Knowing the reason, Lin Fan was amazed at Lee Chun-hua's beast-like intuition. So the fools are blessed by God. Even if they don't have to think too much, their intuition can help them avoid risks in many things, and have a smooth journey. Bring Yu back to the Special Affairs Office, one of the other two seaside cabins on the beach. According to Song Ren's idea, Yu and Gao Fei don't need to prepare another room when they come. They can squeeze in with him and Lee Chun-hua. Anyway, the cabins are all luxurious beds of more than 2 meters, so they won't be too sleepy. But how can the Special Affairs Office allow the word squeeze to appear? The wealthy Special Affairs Office would like to live in one building and give another one to put the luggage. Even if it is empty, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it makes them look generous enough. How can they let guests, especially 800 guests, squeeze? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Exclamation mark. Without even asking ZHU Kunjin for approval, John Woo directly told the logistics department to send the better and more expensive things to the beach house. Even if he couldn't corrupt them with money, at least he could compete with 800 points. ZHU Kunjin would definitely praise him if he knew about it. Ji was also amazed when he first entered the Special Affairs Office. Many techniques and assumptions he had seen in books were realized here. He once again lamented that his knowledge was limited and his worldview was too small. He vowed to travel more and see more in the future to gain more knowledge. Lee Chun-hua showed off the knowledge he had just learned from Lin Fan. People who didn't know him would think he was from the Special Affairs Office. Talking is talking, and having fun is having fun. It's time to get hungry. Lee Chun-hua took Gu to the cafeteria with ease. Cui Yan looked at him and suspected that he had already defected. Lin Fan covered his mouth and laughed. Suddenly he heard a call from behind and turned around. Zhao He, why are you here? Chapter 797 Work and Study. Zhao He, the card maker of the Special Affairs Office, has the ability to copy the things he sees and their abilities into his own cards and release them under time constraints when needed. Aren't you a senior in high school? Don't tell me it's summer vacation now. Seniors don't have winter and summer vacations. Lin Fan said this, and Zhao He's excuse was gone. How can that be, Sister Lin? Zhao He probably saw that there was an outsider around Lin Fan, and she returned to her shy appearance at the beginning. If I skip classes, my parents will beat me to death. It's really a vacation, a week, so I'm taking the time to come to the office to have a look. Don't your parents know that you work for the office? Lin Fan was relieved and curious at the same time, and teased with a smile. You have a stable job, how can they be willing to beat you? Zhao He earns more than his parents in the Special Affairs Office in a year. From the perspective of family income determining status, this underage person is definitely the boss of the family. I'm usually reluctant, but when it comes to the college entrance examination, I'm like crazy. Zhao He was also a little puzzled. Why do you say I study? Isn't it to find a better and more profitable job? Now that I have this job, does it matter whether I study or not, or whether I take the college entrance examination or not? Hey, Lin Fan waved his finger. You are wrong. Studying is not just to make money and find a job as you said. Of course, this is indeed the most direct practical result, but a large amount of knowledge accumulation can give you a higher knowledge reserve, and your view of things will go deeper into the surface and hit the core. You may think what I said is false and empty. Lee Chun-hua, Gu. Lin Fan raised his voice slightly and called back the two men who had not walked far in front. I remember there was a plane in your card. Is it still there? Lin Fan asked Zhao. Zhao took out the card from his pocket, pulled out the plane, and handed it to Lin Fan. Is it this one? Lin Fan took out the card, handed it to Lee Chun-hua and asked, what is this? Lee Chun-hua looked at the photo card of the latest fighter plane in confusion, and exchanged a glance with Song Ren. She did not receive any useful information, so she could only answer in a daze. An airplane. After saying that, she felt that her answer was too weak. As for a fighter plane, it should be the latest model. Lin Fan put the card in front of Gu again. Before she spoke, Gu automatically reported the model, size, parameters, materials, and various data of the aircraft bed. No one knew whether it was true and reliable, but it sounded like one word. Awesome. See. This is the difference between studying and not studying. Lin Fan returned the card to the child, who had already shown an admiring look. Hey, sister, you are not kind, knowing that I have little education. Lee Chun-hua protested. Don't make trouble. This senior high school kid is saying that studying is useless and having a job is enough. Lin Fan sent him away without looking back. That's where you're wrong. Lee Chun-hua pushed Lin Fan away and came in front of Zhao. Son, look at me, your brother. It's because I didn't read much and don't have a high degree of education that I can't get promoted after I start working. I've suffered from my lack of education. Look at our captain, Lee Chun-hua said as he moved to Zhao's side. He looks handsome and impressive. No, he's very impressive. He graduated from a prestigious university, and as soon as he entered our company, he easily got to the position that I had to work hard for several years to get just by relying on his high degree of education. Look at that guy again. He pointed at Gu again. Master. His IQ is beyond human. He crushes mortals like me every day, and he just doesn't let me live. After Zhao's sympathetic eyes fell on Lee Chun-hua, he pitifully sold his misery again. Look at me, your brother. I have good looks and abilities, but because I have a lower education than them and only graduated from high school, I have always been suppressed by them. If you want to be on par with them, you have to spend 3 or 4 times more effort and time than them, but by then, they have also been promoted, and I will always be chasing them from behind, but I can never catch up. As he spoke, he squatted on the ground and started singing. Zhao had never seen such a scene before, so he quickly pulled Lee Chun-hua up. Brother, I know. I will study hard for the college entrance examination. That's right. Lee Chun-hua withdrew his posture, as if the singing and writing just now was all an illusion, which made Zhao stunned again. Seeing that the children were beginning to be confused, Lin Fan hurried to save them. Go away. Don't mislead the students. She first pushed Lee Chun-hua aside, and then said to Zhao, who was staring blankly. Although his performance was a bit explosive, what he said was the truth. They are from 800, you know 800, right? It is not uncommon for them to divide occupational levels according to academic qualifications. Not to mention this person with high school education. Even a bachelor's degree is considered low education there. Are you trying to say that you are from the Special Affairs Office anyway, and you are not going to 800? Lin Fan saw the child nod, and then said, our Special Affairs Office also divides positions according to ability. In addition to supernatural powers, professional qualities, and academic qualifications are naturally part of the ability. You don't always think that, after entering the Special Affairs Office, you will be a low-level employee, and your salary will increase, based on your length of service, and that this is how your life will be. Zhao shook his head. Which child doesn't have some ambitions? Right, if we want to get a high position, what is the easiest way? Lin Fan persuaded him. Compared to improving superpowers, isn't it easier and more convenient to improve academic qualifications? Your superpowers are limited by cards. If there are no new cards, The improvement limit will be stuck at the maximum number of cards, but academic qualifications will not. Do you believe it or not? If you go to logistics with a high school diploma and a college diploma, the salary you receive is different. The treatment is different. He nodded continuously. Besides, if you have a lot of knowledge, you will be elegant. If you read a lot, you will know a lot, and have a wide range of knowledge. When you chat with others, they don't know you. How good it feels. It will be easier to get a girlfriend, right? Lin Fan said something off topic. When he heard Song Ren hum, he suddenly realized, well, girlfriends are another matter. Just take your brother Wu. You seem to be idle every day, and look like you are idle. My brother Wu is not idle. He couldn't help but feel sorry for John Wu. That's not the point. Lin Fan didn't expect this kid to defend Wu Yusen so much. The point is, do you know what your Wu's academic qualifications are? He shook his head. Lin Fan signed up for a university, and even Gu couldn't help but look up. Are you surprised? Lin Fan saw several surprised eyes, and was very happy. You can't see it at ordinary times, but when you are on a mission, his knowledge can be reflected in practice, and it has helped a lot many times. And this knowledge can only be accessed in college. It is said that you regret not having enough knowledge when you need it. On the surface, it refers to books, but in fact it refers to knowledge. The next knowledge you learn may very likely save your life. What does this mean in our special affairs office? I don't need to tell you, right? He nodded obediently, pinching his fingers and lowering his head. Actually, I'm not saying I won't study. I just don't think I need to be so nervous. Well, you have a way out, so it doesn't matter whether you do well in the exam or not. Don't you think so? Lin Fan understood. But have you ever thought about that self who worked so hard day after day, year after year, and studied all night before you entered the special affairs office, and before your superpowers appeared? Did you ever think that one day you would throw your previous efforts away so casually? You worked hard for more than 10 years to maintain excellent results, but you relaxed and became casual in the last year. Putting aside work matters, don't you really want to know what kind of result you will get after all these years of hard work? Whether the score is high or not, it is proof of your past efforts and sweat, and witnesses your reckless youth. Even if you look back on it decades later, you can say that you have no regrets. And are you sure that your superpowers will always exist? Lin Fan's words scared Zaohe. Your special ability comes from nowhere, and it may also end there. Have you ever made the worst plan if one day your special ability disappears? Of course, the special affairs office will not ignore you, but your treatment and work will definitely not be the same as now. What will you do? With only a high school education, you may not be able to find a suitable job even in Ririhan. Lin Fan persuaded and threatened Zaohe successfully brainwashed him. He repeatedly promised that he would work hard after returning, live up to his past self, get into an ideal university, study hard, and make progress every day. After that, he ran away. He didn't even say what he was looking for Lin Fan for. I didn't realize it. Lee Chun-hua smiled slyly. Lin Fan, you are good at giving people chicken soup. You have a lot of tricks when you fool people. Of course not. Lin laughed. If you listen to Jin Sichin too much, you will also be able to say it. Let's go. Let's eat quickly. I can hear your stomach rumbling. Chapter 798 filled with memories. After finally finishing the meal and sitting down, Lee Chun-hua was already starving, so he didn't care about being polite and started eating first. Song Ren then asked Lin Fan about Zaohe's situation. After Lin Fan said that, everyone knew that the big monsters in Gao were all released by this kid. You should have said it earlier. Lee Chun-hua sighed again. It turns out that I was so close to the legendary king of cards, but I missed it. I missed it after all. After lamenting, he immediately stuffed a meatball into his mouth and then looked satisfied. Can the fighter card you showed us really release fighters? Gu asked. Yes, and even if there is no driver or oil inside, it can be fully controlled by Zaohe's will, which is convenient. Lin Fan smiled. If Zaohe's spiritual power is not sufficient, he can replace it with a spiritual power library of a big boss like Teacher Me. It's so cool to think about it. This ability is really magical, a bit like the magic brush Malayang. Song Ren was quite interested. It's just that Ma Liang's brush has become his card, but it is equally authentic. Yes, the stars he copied are also very powerful. There is really no difference from my original body. Lin Fan replied, the combat power and other things can almost reach a high value. Ah, I know what he is here for. Lin Fan suddenly clapped his hands. He should know that Antonio is in the special affairs office and wants to find him to copy Apollo. Oh, I'm in trouble. She hurriedly sent a message to Zaohe in annoyance. What's wrong? If not, let's help Fu Guang to copy Zao. Li Chunhua unceremoniously agreed with Song Ren's feelings. Fu Guang is a matter of time. I guess the director saw that Anton stayed in the institute and went to the Academy of Supernatural Powers to study. He was at a big loss, so he wanted Zaohe to take the opportunity to make some money. If Anton really agreed to copy Apollo, it would be equivalent to Langsing having to Apollos in the future, plus Fu Guang. Think about it carefully. Lin Fan felt happy just thinking about it. At that time, they don't have to care too much whether Antonio surrenders or not. Anyway, they still have an Apollo in their card. It's better to have it, but it's no loss if they don't. But when she thought that this matter might be disturbed because of her intervention just now, Minister Lin became uneasy again. She finally let go of her worries until Zaohe replied. It was said that there was no delay. Antonio is now in the Academy of Supernatural Powers, and the institute has already made arrangements. He came here today to see Fu Guang. This is a bit embarrassing. Lin Fan quickly told him on the phone which one Fu Guang was from before, and said a lot of nice things. He also apologized for not seeing her for a long time, and for giving her a long lecture right away, and promised that he would never do it again. Zaohe comforted her in turn, saying that what she said was right and had really enlightened him. Blah blah. It was over after a lot of arguing. Seeing Lin Fan sighing, and finally putting down his phone, and slumping on the back of the chair, Song Ren handed him a cup of coke in time. I told you I'm not good at dealing with children, right? I'll lose half my life in one go. Lin Fan drank the refreshing coke, and joked to himself. Your toe wasn't. Ouch. Li Chunhua was interrupted by a sharp pain in her toe halfway through her words. The force and direction seemed to be Song Ren's. Li Chunhua held back and shoveled rice into her mouth. In the afternoon, the three of them took Jiyu to Gao amusement park to play. Yes, it was the one that children wouldn't go to, the Gao amusement park that was already deserted and about to close down. The facilities inside were already old and had not been updated. After the new cartoon park opened, no one came here. Lin Fan bought the tickets, and 4 tall and strong adults swaggered into the amusement park with few people. Jiyu looked at the amusement facilities that were full of age, all parked quietly in the amusement park, quietly waiting for the next customer to come, and suddenly his eyes were a little sore. He had seen these photos countless times in newspapers and magazines when he was a child. He had longed for and imagined them, but had never really come. When he was able to come, there was no need to come. I didn't expect to be brought here today, and I was actually touched in my heart. Come on, G baby. Lin Fan smiled and opened his hands and gestured in a circle. Although we didn't book the entire amusement park, there are so few people anyway, just take it as it is. I declare that from now on, this amusement park belongs to you. Let us fill your memories together. Jiyu has always been admiring of Lin Fan. He admired her for overcoming all kinds of difficulties and coming to where she is today, and for reconciling with her past and her family. But at this moment, he actually found that this woman had such a delicate and touching side. It was no wonder that so many people liked her. Hey, G baby, I'm calling you. Why don't you answer me? Li Chunhua saw Jiyu's silly expression, which was different from usual, and made a rare joke. Jiyu actually made a low hum with an unclear meaning, but when Li Chunhua got closer to listen again, Jiyu changed back to his original appearance. Come on, come on. Come quickly. Lin Fan laughed happily in front and called out to them loudly. There are small trains and haunted houses here. Which one should we play first? The small circular train was like a toy in front of a tall adult. You can imagine how cramped they felt when they sat on it, as if a small horse was pulling a big cart. But whether it was Song Ren or Lee Chun-hwa, they looked at GU with a smile, as if no matter what decision he made, they would follow him without hesitation. GU's self-confidence swelled to the extreme, and satisfaction filled his whole body. He didn't feel this kind of satisfaction when he knew that he had a very high IQ. He didn't feel this kind of satisfaction when he was free from his family's control. He didn't feel this kind of satisfaction when he could skillfully operate the machine control panel and fly in the blue sky. He didn't feel this kind of satisfaction when he entered 800 and became an ice wheel driver. Even when he bravely killed Gro to defend Langsing, he didn't feel such a full satisfaction. This kind of wholehearted trust and support, even in such a trivial matter, made him feel particularly moved. Because he knew that in dangerous situations, they would also stand by him without hesitation, and advance and retreat with him. That's enough. That's enough. GU closed his eyes and sorted out the emotions that were constantly surging in his heart and were about to burst out, without realizing that the corners of his mouth had already curled up high. Let's go to the haunted house. Lee Chun-hwa came over again to come up with a trick. Let's go to the haunted house and let Lin Fan and the boss go together to promote their relationship. GU looked at him for a long time, wondering if Lee Chun-hwa really wanted to help or just wanted to watch the fun. He didn't know if he had been with Lee Chun-hwa for a long time, and he was a little bit interested in this proposal, so he decisively chose a haunted house. The four people had a lot of fun in the amusement park, and even Gao Fei was late. When they arrived, Gao Fei was standing alone at the exit, where no one had left. Oh my. Lee Chun-hwa was still the first to rush over. Sorry, brother, there is a traffic jam on the road. The traffic jam was real, and it was also true that they were late. When the scheduled time came, there were only a few entertainment projects left to play. GU said forget it, but Lee Chun-hwa didn't let him, saying that it didn't matter that little time, Gao Fei would understand, and pulled people to the equipment. Now Lee Chun-hwa is here to blame the traffic jam. But no one exposed him. Gao Fei greeted everyone, and soon found out that GU was different. You seem particularly happy today. GU had a faint smile on his face, breaking his usual cold expression. Yes, it's very good. GU did not deny it. Oh, this is strange. Gao Fei was delighted. What happened? Tell me quickly. Then where do you want to start? From the blind date, or? Lee Chun-hwa winked again and started to tell stories. Please tell me in detail. I want to hear it all. Chapter 799 Eye-opening. Lee Chun-hwa encouraged Lin Fan to enter the haunted house because she wanted to see her frightened, and then Song Ren would protect her. Wouldn't their relationship be warmed up? But he ignored the fact that this was an amusement park that was about to close down, and the equipment inside was old models from many years ago, or even more than 10 years ago. Because the amusement equipment was old, no one came. Because no one came, there was no money to update the equipment. In short, Lee Chun-hwa's plan was shattered not long after entering the haunted house. These crude props, outdated lighting effects, and sounds that did not arouse any horror. Probably except for children, junior high school students who have seen a little bit of the market would not be scared. He looked at Lin Fan in front of him, strolling around in the flickering dark environment, and occasionally reaching out to touch the props with interest. It was a mistake. Lee Chun-hwa, whose plan failed, muttered all the way until he left the haunted house, and his resentment did not dissipate. No wonder it's going to close down. He shook his head helplessly. There's not even an NPC in it, all wooden props. And they're not scary at all. Brotherly, GU looked at him like a child who didn't get candy, and smiled to comfort him. We have received scientific education since childhood, so there are no ghosts in the world. Right, Sister Lin? He was originally confident, but when he saw Lin Fan, he remembered the strange rumors in the special affairs office, and he was not so sure in his heart, so he simply asked the insider for confirmation. Lin Fan showed an unspeakable smile. The world is full of wonders. GU was stunned. Is it true? Lee Chun-hwa rushed over with a woo, grabbed Lin Fan's arm, and asked with a hunched back, really? Really? Can I see it? So, under Lee Chun-hwa's eager interest, the first stop of the visit to the Special Affairs Office was naturally set at Business Department 4, the Supernatural Department. When Sister Zhu came to open the door, she was still yawning. She wiped away the tears that slipped from the corners of her eyes. She weakly greeted Lin Fan, who was standing in the front, and walked back to the chair behind the desk in her slippers, not caring about the few strangers behind her. Sister Zhu, Lin Fan led everyone in. Did you stay up all night again last night? Sister Zhu raised her head with difficulty and yawned again. Yes, the beneficiaries of the abundant spiritual energy are not only humans. Recently, our department is the busiest. Look outside, there is not even a living person. The people of Langsing can fill the environment with abundant spiritual energy, and other spirits and ghosts who are more friendly to spiritual energy are more likely to benefit greatly. So recently, the people in the supernatural department finally felt the oppression of the social animal 007, and they had to deal with new situations every day. Although they were not big troubles, they were better in number. They were so tired that they couldn't even go back to the office, and often had to change direction halfway. The whole department has been empty for several months. If Lin Fan hadn't called to say that the people from the 800th division were coming to visit, Sister Zhu, as the head of the department, wouldn't know where to catch up on her sleep. In fact, it wasn't necessary for her to be here for today's event. But Sister Zhu and Lin Fan had a life and death friendship after all, and Lin Fan was also the department head, and the people she brought were from the 800th division. ZHU Kunjin had been complaining about this enemy, and Sister Zhu felt that no matter what the reason was, she had to come back to calm them down. I'm sorry to bother Sister Zhu again. Lin Fan didn't think too much, and introduced both parties politely. Sister Zhu's eyes were filled with tears, and she nodded to a few people with half her eyelids closed, as if to say hello. She leaned back on the back of the chair again, and her eyes were about to close. Li Chunhua quietly poked Lin Fan's arm from behind, and asked in a low voice, "There's no one here, can we still visit?" Lin Fan knew that he was thinking about seeing ghosts, and smiled to comfort him. "Don't worry, I promise to make you satisfied." Yes, the purpose of bringing them to the supernatural department was mainly to broaden their horizons. Sister Zhu, who seemed to have fallen asleep in the chair, raised her head again. "Who wants to see it?" "Me." Li Chunhua raised her hand excitedly. "I want to see it too." GU, with a scientific and truth-seeking attitude, would not miss such an opportunity. "And me." Gao Fei also said in a resounding voice. Lin Fan turned his head to look at Song Ren. "You don't want to see it?" Song Ren curled his lips. "Then let's see it together." Pop Sister Zhu took out a brown glass bottle from somewhere and slapped it on the table. "Hey, drop a drop in your eyes. Close your eyes and open them again." After saying that, she fell back into her chair. Perhaps because she was full of anticipation and excitement for what was to come, or perhaps because of the filter that the experts in the Special Affairs Office had. Sister Zhu's slightly rude behavior did not even care about Li Chunhua, the most straightforward and naive. Lin Fan knew that Sister Zhu was very tired, so he went forward to pick up the bottle, twisted the cap, and took a look. "Eye drops." She turned around and handed the small bottle to Li Chunhua, who could no longer hold back, and took 2 steps forward. "Drop it into your eyes." Before she finished speaking, Li Chunhua had already raised her head, put the eye drops in, and closed her eyes. "You really trust me to put them in my eyes without asking any questions?" Lin Fan muttered, but in his heart he was moved by this unconditional trust. "What's there to ask about the things you brought over?" Li Chunhua's eyes were still closed, but her head had turned back, and she handed the eye drops to the side. Sister Zhu opened her eyelids, and finally sat up straighter. Song Ren took the drops, and dripped them to Gu. Gao Fei looked at the two of them with their eyes closed and asked, "What do you feel? Why don't you open your eyes?" "Nothing." Li Chunhua replied, "Can you open your eyes now?" "To be honest, I'm a little nervous, afraid of what I'll see once I open my eyes." "Brotherly, haven't you been looking forward to this moment?" Gao Fei took the eye drops and dripped them with his head tilted back. "So can you open your eyes now?" "That's right." Li Chunhua smiled innocently. "Open your eyes," Sister Zhu said slowly. "These are cow tears. They don't have any other effect, except that you can see your good friends." Li Chunhua slowly opened her eyes. The room that was empty just now suddenly had many more people. Good friends. On the table, chair, lamp, and even on the ceiling. Are these good friends? Everyone looked at the room full of normal people and felt that Sister Zhu, who was leaning on the chair with a pale face, looked more like that than them. It doesn't look scary. Lee Chun-ho looked at this and then at that. It seems that there is no difference between them and us. We can't tell them apart when we walk on the street, right? There is nothing scary. Scary? Sister Zhu was silent for 2 seconds. You want to see something scary? Are you sure? Lin Fan smiled and told Lee Chun-ho what she had been talking about the day before when they went to the haunted house. Is that so? Sister Zhu leaned forward, propped one arm on the table, and smiled with an ambiguous smile. I was afraid that I would scare you, so I asked them to pack up. Since you want to see something scary, then let's do as you wish. Before Song Ren could speak, he saw the scene in front of him change. The good friends who were gentle and amiable just now suddenly changed their appearance. They were red and white, with long hair, without faces, with sharp teeth and nails. They were as scary as they could be. Many of them even lost their human form. The gentle room suddenly turned into a purgatory on earth. Sister Zhu, who looked the most like a ghost just now looked very much like a human being in comparison. Perhaps to achieve a frightening effect, these good friends came close to them and tried to get close to their faces. Lee Chun-ho's head was swallowed whole by a guy with a big mouth and sharp teeth. The guy probably admired Lee Chun-ho's courage and touched Lee Chun-ho's arm with his bones. There were several good friends of different shapes waiting nearby, wanting to give Lee Chun-ho a 3D ultra stereoscopic luxury experience. Perhaps the stimulation was too much. Lee Chun-ho just froze on the spot, motionless. Chapter 800 Lee Chun-ho's Nightmare. The experience of Song Ren and the other two was not as exciting as that of Lee Chun-ho. There were only a few good friends with very strong visual senses floating in front of them. But even so, it was enough to make the blood pressure of the 3 people who had never seen it soar. Gao Fei hugged Ji-yu directly, his face twisted into a ball. Ji-yu was a little dazed by the new world view, and on the other hand, he was a little excited to open the door to a new world. Song Ren calmed the fear in his heart as quickly as possible, and found that Lee Chun-ho was still standing motionless and being swallowed. He wanted to rescue her, but when he stretched out his hand, he found that he could only pass through the body of the good friend. He could only look at Lin Fan and ask her for help. Lin Fan also felt the biting cold and felt that his hair stood up one by one. The expressions of Song Ren and the other 4 were not very good, and Lee Chun-ho had a dazed look on her face. Receiving Song Ren's gaze, she turned her head to look at Sister Zhu and saw her snap her fingers, and the temperature quickly rose. The good friend in the room suddenly disappeared. Gao Fei finally breathed a sigh of relief, but he didn't dare to let Ji-yu go. Ji-yu came to his senses with a little regret. Song Ren stepped in front of Lee Chun-ho and found that he was still in a daze with his mouth open, so he patted his shoulder. Lee Chun-ho, wake up. You won't be scared, will you? Lin Fan was also a little worried. No, Sister Zhu waved her hand nonchalantly. How can 800 elites be scared by this little stimulation? Thinking of what Lee Chun-ho had just experienced, she added, it's a bit of a stimulation, but it should be okay. She walked slowly in front of Lee Chun-ho and pointed her index finger at his forehead. Lee Chun-ho felt a bone-chilling chill piercing his whole body, and he shuddered suddenly, and the whole person came alive. He saw Sister Zhu's pale face, subconsciously jumped back, and then looked around carefully, and found that there was nothing in the empty room except for them. Lee Chun-ho pursed his lips, threw himself into the arms of Song Ren who had been staring at him, and howled, wow. Boss. I just had a nightmare. Woo woo woo. Song Ren was so overwhelmed by being thrown into the arms of such a strong man that he opened his arms. Hearing him crying, he wanted to say that it was not a nightmare, but thinking about the excitement, he decided not to say it. It was rare for him to feel such real pity for the tall and strongly Han Han. He patted his back with both hands and comforted him softly. It's okay when you wake up, it's okay. Sister Zhu was also a little overwhelmed when she saw that she made 800 people cry. She really wanted to scare 800 people, but now it seems a little too scared. In this situation, she is good at dealing with ghosts, but not with people. Well, anyway, the mission goal has been achieved. She gave Lin Fan an apologetic look and ran away. Seeing the big Lee Chun-hua crying in Song Ren's arms, Lin Fan was worried and amused, and sighed softly. The price of curiosity. Sister, Gao Fei came over at some point, his eyes full of admiration. You're not afraid at all? That's amazing. Lin Fan smiled. I didn't use any eye drops, so I didn't see anything. Are you kidding? She knew she was afraid of this thing, and she usually couldn't even hide from it, so how could she possibly accompany them to get up there? But these people shouldn't be curious about these things in the future, right? Jiu's expression doesn't seem right. Lee Chun-hua sobbed for a long time, and finally calmed down. She looked wilted. She was no longer clamoring to visit the Special Affairs Office like before. But the arranged itinerary had to go on. Fortunately, it was a normal till later, and there were no such exciting projects. Slowly, Lee Chun-hua also regained some energy. Song Ren slowly walked to Lin Fan, and asked in a low voice, will you always see, after applying this eye drops? He had seen Lee Chun-hua pass through his good friend who he thought was a human several times. Although he was not that scared, it was not a big deal to see these things all the time. Oh, yes, Lin Fan asked why Gao Fei had been carrying Jiu all the time today. She only remembered at this time, cow tears are disposable. They will not work if you flush your eyes with water. You guys go to the bathroom and wash your eyes later. Song Ren breathed a sigh of relief. Gao Fei asked in a low voice, why does Brother Lee seem to be unable to see? Is he immune to the stimulation? No, Jiu shook his head. It should be that he just cried for a while, and his tears washed away the cow tears. Everyone looked at Lee Chun-hua, who was gradually regaining his vitality in front of them, and felt that Han was really blessed by God. There are also many departments in the Special Affairs Office. Apart from modern conventional departments such as medical and science and technology departments, Lin Fan took the 4 people to visit other special departments. Because of Lee Chun-hua's previous questions, he also took them to the bottom of Zioyao Mountain to take a look. But at this time, Lee Chun-hua's curiosity had been reduced a lot, and he no longer dared to seek deeper knowledge like before. Every time he saw enough, he would urge to leave, fearing that some monsters would appear again. Lin Fan felt that Lee Chun-hua might not be unaware of whether what he saw before was true or false, but he just hoped it was a dream. It was not until he left the Special Affairs Office that Lee Chun-hua was really relieved. He opened the car window, regardless of the blazing sun outside, which was over 30 degrees, and put his head and hands out of the car window to bask in the sun. Gao Fei, who was sitting next to him, was covered in the hot wind and felt hot, but seeing Lee Chun-hua like this, he was embarrassed to ask him to close the window, so he just squeezed towards Jiu. Jiu didn't care about these things, and was staring out the window. He didn't wash his eyes. Lee Chun-hua's condition was not resolved until he entered the Supernatural Academy, but when he saw Wu Yusen, he couldn't help but look aggrieved. What's wrong? Wu Yu smiled and came up to greet the few people, but he didn't expect that the usually cheerful person had a different expression. Lin Fan leaned over and whispered to him, and Wu Yusen understood. His smile got bigger, and he stepped forward and put his arm around Lee Chun-hua's shoulders, loudly introducing him to the various matters of the School of Supernatural Powers. As expected, Lee Chun-hua's thoughts quickly followed Wu Yusen, and his mind was only on supernatural powers, and he didn't think about those scary things for a short time. Brother Wu, can I take a test? He started a new round of interest, with hope in his eyes. Wu Yusen had just introduced them to the physical fitness test instrument, which could more accurately test whether the Langsing people were born with supernatural powers, or acquired and cultivated bodies. Sure. Wu Yusen smiled. Since we are here, let's all take a test. The instrument was not like the crystal ball or stone pillar described in the novel. On the contrary, it looked like a more sophisticated scientific instrument with many pointers and values. The person being tested put his hand in and held the handle inside, and then various values would be displayed on the instrument, and there would be a specific evaluation standard. This was naturally made by the props department of the Special Affairs Institute. Quan Yingdong from the Equipment Refining Group and Zhang Cheng from the Equipment Group have spent all their efforts on this in the past few months. Several people went up to test one after another, and they were all found to be susceptible bodies that can be cultivated after birth. Among them, Song Ren had the strongest perception. This should be related to the genetic structure in his body. After all, the patch of the octopus man is still on his neck. Lee Chun-ho was very happy. He also had a chance to practice. If he succeeded in practicing, he wouldn't have to be afraid of that, right? Do you want to try it too? Wu Yusen stood beside Lin Fan and smiled as he watched the 4 people doing the test and asked, "Me?" Lin Fan was stunned for a moment. "Didn't you say I don't have that talent?" When she went to the special affairs office for the first time, she was tested and said that she had no supernatural talent. She was let go because nothing could be found. What else do you need to test now? Actually, you are also susceptible. Wu Yusen smiled. Sister Zhu said a long time ago that you have a certain perception. Now, it should be stronger. Not being able to practice at the beginning does not mean that you can't do it now. After all, even Antonio came to learn. And according to Antonio and Song Ren's data, mixed genes may have a stronger perception of spiritual energy. Even if they don't carry superpowers, they will have a stronger affinity for superpowers. So I want you to verify it. If superpowers and acquired perception are related to the mixed ratio of their genes, then it can also confirm their guess. The energy on the world tree was originally used to nourish the son of God left by Nuwa on Langsing, as well as various other genetic creatures. Lin Fan thought about it and decided that it didn't matter if she tested one, as she was curious. She said okay, rolled up her sleeves, and walked towards the machine. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.